second day, the first and second session. And the resource person, Dr. Pradeep is after now. So, because Dr. is working as assistant vice president and head of National Digital Academy. He has more than 18 years more experience on it. He is a very good trainer. I have a session at the end of my first paper. The other class let us last design thinking or PG industry mathematics strong. So I hope this session conversation I have seen it's okay.
I also pray for the Lord.
Anyway, sir, welcome to
So it's a very good morning. Glad to meet you all. So thanks, Sulekshwar sir, for a wonderful introduction. So one caveat, before starting the session, it is very difficult to train teachers. Okay. What can be the reason? Normally, people like us who work for the industry, we find it very difficult. Teacher training or stress factor. What can you say? Yeah, it is very difficult for unlearned teachers. It works otherwise, right? Okay, I mean, you will lecture you can 2 hours, 3 hours, 3 days you can use your lecture. But sitting in the classroom and listening to the other people, it's maybe a big challenge. So that's a challenge I would like to overcome. So anyway, thanks for the invite. The Nest group representing heard about Nest group? Yeah, if you guys just give a small introduction about Nest group. So we work on a business model called OEM and ODM. Heard about that model? OEM and ODM. Okay, original equipment manufacturing and original design and manufacturing. So what do you mean by that? Original equipment manufacturing and original design and manufacturing. And the difference.
Maybe related to design thinking.
Yeah. So basically, our business model is we manufacture components, specifically electronic components for large companies. Okay. It can be small companies, starting from a PCB board. What is the PCB board? PCB board is only with a large scale niche segments where we manufacture. That's our business model. OEM and ODM, what is the difference? One is original equipment manufacturing. Okay. We recently backed a project from Apple. So we manufacture products for Apple. That is OEM. But in the IP, intellectual property rights with the Apple itself. What is the ODM? Original design and manufacturing. But in the IP rights with the seller. Okay, not with the buyer. So that is a model. We export to more than 56 countries across the world, and maybe annual revenue will be around 5,000 crores. It will be the annual revenue for us. And I do represent the software arm. It is called Nest Digital. I am heading the learning and development. I am handling campus hiring. I am also part of the employee branding. That is a major portfolio. Maybe for your information, we actually manufacture very niche products. Electronics products, niche products. You heard about Rafael aircraft, right? Rafael aircraft radar equipments we manufacture. We manufacture lighting for Airbus. We manufacture laser guns for Indian military. Then our clients like Google, Tesla, Apple. So these are few of our clients. Maybe only few people know about that. It was a company from Kerala. Doing services for such companies. എന്തുകൊണ്ടാണ് നമുക്ക് അത്ര വിസിബിൾ അല്ലാത്തതിന്റെ ഒരു മെയിൻ റീസൺ? വാട്ട് ക്യാൻ ബി ദ റീസൺ? ഐ വുഡ് ലൈക്ക് ടു ഹാവ് എ ലോട്ട് ഓഫ് ഇന്ററാക്റ്റീവ് സെഷൻ. എന്തുകൊണ്ടായിരിക്കും OEM and ODM ബിസിനസ് മോഡലിൽ വലിയ വിസിബിലിറ്റി കാണുന്നത്? B2B can നമുക്ക് അഗ്രസീവ് ആകാം അല്ലെ? മാർക്കറ്റിംഗ് അഗ്രസീവ് ആണ്.
പ്രൊഡക്റ്റ് പാർട്സ് ആയിട്ടല്ലല്ലോ, ഇപ്പോൾ ഒരു പ്രൊഡക്റ്റ് ആയിട്ടല്ലേ നമ്മൾ.
അതെ, അതായത് വി ഹാവ് എൻ എഗ്രിമെന്റ് വിത്ത് ദ കസ്റ്റമർ. ഓക്കെ, അതായത് ഈ കമ്പനീസിന്റെ പേര് പുറത്ത് പറയുന്നത്. ബിക്കോസ് ദാറ്റ് വിൽ ആക്ച്വലി അണ്ടർമൈൻ ദെയർ ക്രെഡിബിലിറ്റി, റൈറ്റ്? ഇപ്പം നമ്മളിപ്പം ഹെൽത്ത് കെയറിൽ വി മാനുഫാക്ചർ എക്യുപ്മെന്റ്സ് ഫോർ MRI മെഷീൻസ്. ഒരു പ്ലാന്റിൽ തന്നെ നമ്മൾ ജിയുടെ MRI മെഷീൻസ് മാനുഫാക്ചർ ചെയ്യുന്നുണ്ട്, ഫിലിപ്സിന്റെ മാനുഫാക്ചർ ചെയ്യുന്നുണ്ട്, സീമെൻസിന്റെ മാനുഫാക്ചർ ചെയ്യുന്നുണ്ട്. അപ്പോൾ ഒരു എഗ്രിമെന്റ് ഉണ്ട് ഈ കസ്റ്റമറിന്റെ പേര് പുറത്ത് ഡിസ്പ്ലേ ചെയ്യുന്നത്. സോ when it comes to branding and when it comes to knowing about this group, okay, we are not very active because of these reasons. നിങ്ങളൊരു ജിയുടെ MRI മെഷീൻസ് എടുത്ത് നോക്കുകയാണെങ്കിൽ അതിനകത്തുള്ള ഇലക്ട്രോണിക് കമ്പോണൻസ്, ഓക്കെ, പ്ലാസ്റ്റിക് മോൾഡിംഗ്, മെറ്റൽ ഷീറ്റിംഗ്, എംബഡഡ് പ്രോഗ്രാം ഒക്കെ we do have capability. Now when it comes to the spread, Columbus-City, there is something called Nest Electronics Park. They are a large scale manufacturing with around 5,000 employees there. Okay. Then we have a couple of facilities in Mysore, Pune, then in Bangalore, then in international locations, Japan, US, Thailand, and other places. See, why I started with this is one of the biggest challenges I do face is getting the talent. Okay, so in the main portfolio is talent acquisition, talent upskilling. Okay, jolly. I mean, your primary purpose is building the talent, right? Okay, so there is a bit of mismatch between what we expect and what is the output from college, produced by college. Okay, so I thought that we will have a small discussion on tag platforms. Okay, of course, Gen AI is the main theme, and we will talk about that also. Talent in the sense, okay, talent category, okay, one is freshers, and another one is lateral. What is lateral? Experienced people. Freshers, when it comes to freshers, I do handle the fresher handling, training and recruitment also. We large scale of fresher recruitment now currently the numbers comes down drastically. What can be the reason? Yeah, so one can be automation, the industry dynamics get changed. So when I joined, okay, we hire around 300 freshers. Currently, number recruiting. On other hand, there's something called operator level. Okay? Operator level in the sense, manufacturing, PCB testing and assembly. That means a lot of hands-on. There is around 500 vacancies are there. But on engineering segments, there's a lot of disparity between supply and demand also. So I just want to give a small emphasis on why, how industry is moving, okay, what can be the challenges, okay, and specifically from an IT industry. Okay. Even though manufacturing, I do represent the software division. Are you okay? Yeah. So maybe a quick introduction. I know you had a detailed introduction. Your name and your background. Background in the sense which department. Which help me to relate to what you are expecting also. Okay. Can I have a quick introduction? Yeah. Maybe from here.
My name is Sophia Assis, research scholar from College of School of Management.
School of Management Studies. Yeah, I'm also an alumni of this. Yeah. Yeah. SMS ke sath, research scholar.
Research scholar from SMS. My name is Angel Alexandria Routers. I'm a PhD scholar from PhD College of Arts and Science. I do have a prior experience in direct acquisitions.
Oh, right. Yesterday, a team from PSC College of Management is looking for the placements. Okay.
And Srinivas,
Yeah.
I'm working as assistant professor in Government College of Engineering and the US scholars.
SMS ke sath, yeah.
The novel rules from the Civil School of Engineering and Technology, the Department of Management.
Physics department.
And Dr. Vidyalakshmi, Chemistry Department, Syllabus Assistant. Dr. Kitua, Physics Department, SCMS School of Engineering.
Dr. Santosh Physics Department, Siemens College, the School of Engineering and Technology.
That will be Assistant Scholar, SCMS.
I work as assistant professor in academic.
I'm Susan Emerman from MA Department, SCMS.
We met yeah.
So my name is Mohammed. I'm doing research in School of Management Studies on
Algorithm hierarchy.
Yeah, and I'm program research.
Okay, good, interesting.
Research scholar,
Research and എല്ലാവരും
Jahana, scholar. Myself, actually, a scholar from
Hi sir, Pradeep, assistant professor from
Secondary
College of Engineering.
Hi sir, Dr. Anki from Exile.
Myself, Ravyana, Assistant Professor at SMS.
Yeah.
Myself, Vidya Vini, Assistant Professor at SCMS.
Myself, Dr. Samya Mena, Department of Computer Applications, SMS School of Technology.
People John, Assistant.
MG Manmohan Nair, Professor of Finance, SCMS.
Yes, yes.
So Vilas Nair, marketing.
Marketing.
Dr. Deepa Puli, HR, SSTM.
I'm Dr. Rashmi K.R., Associate Professor, MBA Department, SCMS.
Dr. Meera, Associate Professor, MA Department. Praveen, SCMS.
Yes, yes. So, majority are ACMS and SMS. This is different. So, let us start the session. So, let me start with comparing in two companies. Sorry, I Malayalam പറയാനുള്ള രീതിയിൽ മലയാളത്തിൽ പറയാം. So, this Google and TCS, right? These are and famous company, right? Here are some important metrics. One is number of employees. TCS is 6.5 lakhs. Google is 1.8. Market capitalization 1.7. TCS is 200. Annual revenue is 324 billion. TCS is only 28 billion. Revenue per employee is 1.78 and TCS is 47. Which company is better? Google. Or what is the fundamental രണ്ട് കമ്പനികളുടെ ഫണ്ടമെന്റൽ ഡിഫറൻസ് when it comes to business model? TCS is consulting. Okay, good. Difference is TCS is a solution provider, right? Google is a product provider. Okay. Now, what is the difference between a product and services in IT? Yeah.
And service-based companies, they are like such as Nestle and TCS, they give service like cloud and cybersecurity to other clients such as Advocacy and Pradeep, and they have the original products manufactured and sell it to their client.
So basically, a company has a problem and they provide solutions. That is the major role of TCS. Google and they have their own products, right? So when it comes to a product company, the potential is infinite. Why? Because നമ്മൾ തന്നെ എത്ര Google products ഉപയോഗിക്കുന്നുണ്ടല്ലേ? Now this actually Indian company, IT companies എടുത്ത് നോക്കുകയാണെങ്കിൽ, Indian IT industry is one of the largest in the world when it comes to IT industry. Indian IT export, we export more than what Saudi Arabia export oil across the world. So Indian IT industry is very competitive. It employs large number of people like us. Okay. അതിന്റെ നമ്മുടെ ഇന്ത്യൻ എക്കണോമിയുടെ ഒരു മേജർ ഒരു ട്രിഗർ ഫാക്ടർ എന്ന് പറയുന്നത് IT ഇൻഡസ്ട്രിയാണ്. ബിക്കോസ് IT ഇൻഡസ്ട്രി വളർന്നപ്പോഴേക്കും അതിനെ റിലേറ്റ് ചെയ്തുള്ള പല ഇൻഡസ്ട്രീസും ഡെവലപ്പ് ആണ്. Now നിങ്ങൾ ഇപ്പോഴത്തെ മാർക്കറ്റ് റിഫ്ലക്ഷൻസ് എടുത്ത് നോക്കുകയാണെങ്കിൽ, ഇപ്പോൾ യു ഹേർഡ് അബൌട്ട് ലൈക്ക് ക്വാർട്ടർ റിസൾട്ട്സ് എല്ലാം പബ്ലിഷ് ചെയ്തിട്ടുണ്ട് അല്ലേ? നിങ്ങൾ ക്ലോസ്ലി വാച്ച് ചെയ്യുകയാണെങ്കിൽ TCS, ഇൻഫോസിസ്, ഓക്കെ, വിപ്രോ, HCL ടെക്, ഇവരുടെയൊക്കെ ഗ്രോത്ത് റേറ്റ്സ് എങ്ങനെയാണ്? Yeah, TCS they had a dip, Infosys had a dip, okay, or marginal growth rate, okay, maybe 2 to 3%. What is the challenge? എന്തുകൊണ്ടാണ് ഈ ഡിപ്പ് വന്നിരിക്കുന്നത്? Okay, one is AI okay. Yeah, geopolitical, Trump lot of confusions. Because നമ്മുടെ കൂടുതൽ business is coming from US and Europe, okay? So a lot of geopolitical is there. Okay. Now, on other hand, okay, നമ്മുടെ business model is getting challenged, providing IT services. One reason is the Gen A. Okay. You heard about GitHub Copilot, right? GitHub Copilot, Gemini, Llama, എന്നൊക്കെ പറയുന്നതൊക്കെ. അപ്പം ഏർലിയർ നമ്മളൊരു ഫ്രഷറിനെ എടുത്തു കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ മെയിനായിട്ട് നമ്മളൊരു ഫ്രഷറിനെ കൊണ്ട് ലോ കോഡ് ജോബ്സ് ആയിരിക്കും ചെയ്യുന്നത് അപ്രോക്സിമേറ്റ്ലി ഫോർ 1 year. കാരണം 1 year കഴിയുമ്പോഴായിരിക്കും ഇവിടെ നമ്മൾ ക്ലൈൻറ്റ് പ്രൊജക്റ്റിലേക്ക് ക്ലൈൻറ്റ് അക്സെപ്റ്റ് ചെയ്യുന്നത്. സോ 1 year they are not a billable resources. അപ്പം നമ്മുടെ ഒരു മോഡൽ എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞു കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ, ഇപ്പം US ഒരു കമ്പനി പറയുകയാണെങ്കിൽ നമ്മൾ 10 പേരെ കൊടുക്കുക എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞു കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ 10 പേരെയായിരിക്കും ബിൽ ചെയ്യുന്നത്. സോ വി വിൽ പേ എ സർട്ടൻ സാലറി, ഓക്കെ, ആൻഡ് അപ്രോക്സിമേറ്റ്ലി ഒരു 30 to 40% എങ്കിലും റവന്യൂ പെർ എംപ്ലോയി ആണ് പൊതുവെ എല്ലാവരും നോക്കുന്നത്. Now what happens is low code can be generated by Gen AI tools. അപ്പം ക്ലൈന്റ് പറയുന്നത് എന്താണ്, 10 പേരെ വേണം എന്ന് പറയുന്നത്, can you use a GitHub Copilot and can you use only 1 or 2%? അവരെന്താണ് കറക്റ്റായിട്ട് കോഡ് ഇൻറ്റിഗ്രേറ്റ് ചെയ്യുക. കോഡ് പലയിടത്തുനിന്നും ആയിരിക്കും ജനറേറ്റ് ചെയ്യുന്നത്, ഡിസ്റ്റിങ്ക്റ്റ്ലി ഇൻറ്റിഗ്രേറ്റ്. സോ നമ്മുടെ മോഡൽ ഓഫ് പ്രൊവൈഡിങ് IT സർവീസസ് ഈസ് ഗെറ്റിംഗ് ചാലഞ്ച്ഡ്. ഓക്കെ, ആൻഡ് ഇന്ത്യ ആസ് എ കമ്പനി, we are not into the product space. Okay, for example, SAP, Oracle, okay, then you have Microsoft. Usually Indian IT companies, several companies on the product. Can you tell me one Indian IT company which is into the product space? They are basically into services. Yeah, infrastructure. അതൊരു സൊല്യൂഷൻസ് ആണ് അവരുടെ മേജർ ചെയ്തിരിക്കുന്നത്. പ്രൊഡക്റ്റ്, ഒരു ഇന്ത്യൻ IT കമ്പനിയുടെ ഒരു പ്രൊഡക്റ്റ് പറയാം, വിച്ച് ഇസ് വേൾഡ് വൈഡ് റെക്കഗ്നൈസ്ഡ്. So Oracle, SAP, these are all international, right? Indian IT company, ഒരു പ്രൊഡക്റ്റ് IT company. Yeah, Infosys hardly, they have a fintech, the core banking solutions are there. Maybe worldwide we have hardly few companies. Okay, so what you heard about Soho, right? Yeah, Soho, after actually CRM started, they are now actually venturing into different segments. Okay, now going forward, we cannot be only a IT services. We need to be in the product space. Okay. Now, unfortunately, okay, on the other hand, okay, I mean, അക്കാഡമിയ സൈഡിൽ നോക്കുകയാണെങ്കിൽ, ഇപ്പോൾ നിങ്ങൾ എഞ്ചിനീയറിംഗ് കോളേജസ് നോക്കുകയാണെങ്കിൽ ഏറ്റവും കൂടുതൽ ഡിമാൻഡ് ചെയ്യുന്ന ബ്രാഞ്ചാണ് കമ്പ്യൂട്ടർ സയൻസ്. ഓക്കെ, കമ്പ്യൂട്ടർ സയൻസിന്റെ പല വേർഷൻസ്, ഓക്കെ, you have artificial intelligence, machine learning, cyber security, right? Computer science and another vertical. So what we are getting worried is computer science in the supply, but on the other hand, demand for this computers graduates are coming down. Okay. Now companies look for hire, but they look for a quality hires and they look for a different kind of skill set. So that is what we call as a product mindset. Okay. Google fresher salary is 21 lakhs, whereas a TCS fresher salary is around 3.5 lakhs. What is the difference? What is Google? Okay, so there is something called product mindset. Okay. So, in the session, I just want to give a small emphasis on what do you mean by product, what is the product mindset, and if you want to equip your students, okay, we need to go from a solution perspective to a product mindset. Even MBA students, consulting in the sense PowerPoint presentation, deck preparation, business analysis, data analysis, right? Now with the help of all your Gen 9 tools, you can do easily within seconds. Okay. And that colleague, she is a data analyst expert. She will show you certain Gen 9 tools where normal SPSS, Power BI, prompt all the data analysis will become. But consulting company like MBA large number of recruiting the jobs that will not fund them. So it's actually it's actually a dangerous situation, but a lot of positives are there. If in the observation jobs two segments. One is on high-end segment and one is on low-end segment. Okay? Low-end, every job has its own dignity. The skill set. High-end in the sense, if you are looking for an engineer, we are looking for a different kind of skill set. Okay? They should understand all about programming, they should understand about cloud, cyber security. Full stack, computer professional item. Front-end developer, back-end developer. Jargon side, please ask me, okay? Because industry terms, please stop and ask me. Now we have a full stack capability or an engineer. Okay, so now what do you mean low skill set? There is huge demand for the people who are delivery boys. Platforms, okay, your Zomato, okay, only you backbencher or front bencher. Middle benchers, there are opportunities coming down. So that is the way we are foreseeing it. Okay. So this is something like IIT Bombay placements is only 75%, and lowest is 4 lakhs. We had IIT graduates. I don't want to mention which IIT is paying around this much. So even this is not insulated for big IT company, IT institutes also. So let me start with my focus will be on this part. Innovation. So going forward, if Indian companies wants to scale it up, okay, they need to be innovative, right? So let's have a discussion. What's the difference between creativity, invention, and innovation? Very simple. Okay. Please respond. Okay, respond maybe. I feel that okay, I'm not giving enough value. Am I making sense to you?
Yes.
Yes. So what's the difference between creativity, invention, and innovation?
Creativity is like thinking out of box.
Creativity is thinking out of the box. Okay, good. Yeah. Putting a tangible form of invention is okay. Tangible form of creativity very good point. Okay, excellent. Okay, good. Any other thoughts?
നമ്മൾ കുറച്ച് പേപ്പർ ഒരുമിച്ച് വെക്കണം. അപ്പോൾ അതിന് വേണ്ടിയിട്ട് നമ്മളൊരു സാധനം ഉണ്ടാക്കണം തരുമ്പോൾ അതിനുവേണ്ടി സ്റ്റേപ്പിൾ പിൻ ഉണ്ടാക്കരുത്, സ്റ്റേപ്പിൾ ഉണ്ടാക്കരുത്. അതാണ് മെൻഷൻ. ഓക്കെ ഓക്കെ. ഇനി സ്റ്റേപ്പിൾ പിൻ തീർന്നോ ഇല്ലയോ എന്ന് അറിയാൻ വേണ്ടി അവസാനം കണ്ടു നമ്മളെ കളർ ചെയ്യുക, ഒരു ചുമല കളർ കൊടുക്കുക. അപ്പോൾ ചുമല കാണിച്ചു വരുമ്പോൾ മനസ്സിലായി സ്റ്റേപ്പിൾ പിൻ തീരാറായി. അതാണ് ഇന്നോവേഷൻ.
ഓക്കെ, good example. Okay, I appreciate that. ചുമല, ഓക്കെ. നമ്മൾ ട്രിവാൻഡ്രത്തുള്ള ആൾക്കാരുണ്ട്. ചുമല, ട്രിവാൻഡ്രം. സാറിന് കോട്ടയം തന്നെയാണ്. ട്രിവാൻഡ്രം അരക്കളയായിട്ട് ഭയങ്കര കണക്ഷൻ. Any other thoughts? So basically, creativity is more abstract, generating new and valuable ideas. Invention is creating something entirely new. So what is innovation?
Putting that into the tangible.
Yeah, so putting that into a tangible form. Are you trying to solve a problem of a customer? Okay. Are you understand the needs of the customer? That is actually innovation. Now, maybe what are different types of innovation? എന്തായിരിക്കും പല പല തരത്തിലുള്ള innovations? If you talk about innovation, innovation can be categorized into different topics. Yeah, process, good. Product, okay, good. Management innovation, okay. Generally, നമുക്ക് നാല് കാറ്റഗറി ഉണ്ട്: product, process, marketing, and organization. So, just give me an example of product innovation.
ChatGPT.
Okay, ChatGPT, it's a product innovation. Excellent. Which? Uber, okay. Process innovation. Hazel, okay, good. Maybe let's give an example. Which is the fifth largest economy in the world? First is US. Second is China. Third is India. Third is Germany. Okay. Fourth,
Japan.
Yeah. Now recently fourth India, fifth Japan. In Japan, an example maybe related to process innovation. Japan as a country have a lot of disadvantages, right? And that disadvantages. Yeah, natural disasters are like a daily affair for them. Then, yeah, after the Second World War, completely devastated. Aging population, life expectancy is very very high. Okay. Natural resources കുറവാണ്. അവരുടെ ജിയോഗ്രഫി എടുത്ത് നോക്കുകയാണെങ്കിൽ around 60 to 70% either mountain or islands, which is not suitable for agriculture. Okay. Then culture. When culture in the sense they find it very difficult to communicate with other people. Okay. We have a lot of customers from Japan. അപ്പോൾ നമ്മുടെ എഞ്ചിനീയേഴ്സിനെ ജപ്പാനിലേക്ക് വിടണമെങ്കിൽ there is one condition. They need a bilanguage, the Japanese language. So there's a test called JLPT, Japanese Language Proficiency. അത് ക്ലിയർ ചെയ്യണം. അപ്പോൾ നമ്മൾ മാർക്കറ്റിൽ നോക്കിയപ്പോഴേക്കും അത് ഉള്ള ആൾക്കാർ വളരെ കുറവാണ്. So what we did was നമ്മൾ ജപ്പാനിൽ ഒരു ലേഡിയെ ഹയർ ചെയ്തു. She is in Cochin office. കഴിഞ്ഞ ലാസ്റ്റ് 1.5 years. അവരെന്താ ചെയ്തെങ്കിൽ നമ്മുടെ എഞ്ചിനീയേഴ്സിന് ജാപ്പനീസ് ലാംഗ്വേജ് ട്രെയിനിങ്. Japanese is one of the most difficult language. After 6 months of the training, you know what happened? Yeah. She learned Malayalam very well. She goes to the movie and see the Malayalam movies. ഇടയ്ക്ക് നമ്മളൊരു നെസ്റ്റിൽ ഒരു പ്രോഗ്രാം ഉണ്ടായിരുന്നു, ഒരു കൾച്ചറൽ പ്രോഗ്രാം. She sang a Malayalam song. And that became viral. എൻ്റെ റെസിഡൻസ് ഗ്രൂപ്പിലൊക്കെ വന്നിട്ട് ഒരു ജപ്പാൻ ലേഡി ഒക്കെ ഞാൻ പറഞ്ഞില്ല. സോ ഈ നമ്മുടെ എഞ്ചിനീയേഴ്സ് ആ ടെസ്റ്റ് ചെയ്തത് എല്ലാവരും ബ്യൂട്ടിഫുള്ളി ഫ്ലക്ട്. I had a lot of questions from the management. You know, ഒരു ജാപ്പനീസ് ലേഡിയെ ഇവിടെ താമസിപ്പിച്ച് അവർക്ക് എത്രയും സാലറി, we need to match with the Japan salary, right? and we need to manage the accommodation, transportation, and everything. I had a lot of problems. Okay. What I mean is, Japanese language is very difficult, and they find it very difficult to communicate or interact with others also. That is some of the challenges. But Japan is one of the largest economies. What is the reason?
Their product based.
There?
Process based. Yes.
Okay, yeah, process. But what?
Automation.
When you hear about Japanese product, what comes to your mind?
Technology.
High quality products, right? Okay. They conquered the world with high quality products. But Second World War, they had challenges. Everything was less for them, right? Less natural resources, less human resources, less financials. So what they did was, they came out with something called process innovation. Okay. This process in the origin actually from USA. For example, TQM, EPM, Six Sigma. But Japanese borrowed it. And they had their own process added on also. So this is a classic example of process innovation which leads to a massive development of the economy. Okay. Which is the largest car manufacturer in the world? Toyota. Toyota actually is a late entrant into the business. Ford and General Motors 100 years and Toyota 60s starting the company. So they came out with something called Toyota production system. Just in time manufacturing, zero breakdown, zero delays. Yeah. Marketing innovation. Any example for marketing innovation?
Influencer marketing.
Okay, influencer marketing. Okay. Yeah, influencer or de-influencing, I don't know, right? Okay. Yesterday I was watching one guy, okay, who was a food blogger, okay. He goes to all restaurants and make a lot of comments about the restaurant. Now he started his own restaurant, okay. The actual space. Okay. So any other example of marketing innovation?
Experiential marketing.
Yeah, experiential marketing. Okay. So this one, L'Oreal, right? Okay. They came out with an app, okay, where they will take a selfie, okay, and that will help us. Okay, which lipstick, which color of lipstick, black or blue, okay, in the Geo, how did Geo enter into the telecom market? Yeah, one is penetrative pricing. They created a habit. Maslow's hierarchy theory. What are the basic needs? Food, shelter, clothing. If you add 1 GB per day. Now we cannot think about a day without 1 GB, right? Okay, so they created a habit. So that's a marketing innovation. Organizational innovation. Organizational innovation. Organizational definition making a lot of changes in the culture of the organization. That makes an organization very agile and very competitive also.
Tesla.
Uber.
Yeah, Tesla, Uber, okay. Google. One is McDonald's. Our ideas share, there is no hierarchy. Anybody can share that. Amazon the theme and the most customer-centric organization in the planet, and they are one of the most customer-friendly organizations also. When it comes to the handling of number of people, right? They are handling millions of people. But our customer service department, whether it is automated or also, is stronger. What is the reason? The organization policy. Every employee will be rotated to the customer success department. What do you mean customer success department? Customer care. Customer care is positive strong service. It's a very difficult job. Now, if I am working in a finance or okay, I will be rotated to a customer success department. What is the advantage of that?
And learn patience.
Yeah, the patience is all mentioned. Other than that, you organize a strategic perspective. We understand the problems of the customer. Palappozhum, finance, legal, they are not able to understand the pain points of the customers. Marketing department, sales department, they don't understand. Here even CEO have to be in the customer success department. So all people are aligned to something called the customer success. Okay. So that is one culture. So just moving forward, even innovation can be further subdivided into something called radical, incremental, disruptive, platform, or that regular. Just quickly rush up. What is the difference between radical and incremental?
Radical complete change.
Yeah, very good. Radical complete change. Incremental. Alright. Can you give an example?
Amazon assets platform.
Okay, radical. Okay, good. Right. On this touchpad, converting mobiles to touchpad, right? Radical. Incremental. What is the difference between Apple 16 and Apple 16 Pro?
Some more features will be added.
കൂടുതൽ കാശ് കൊടുക്കണം മെയിൻ ആയിട്ട് അതാണല്ലേ അല്ലാതെ മേബി ചെറിയൊരു ക്യാമറയുടെ ഒരു ക്വാളിറ്റി ഇൻക്രിമെന്റൽ ഇന്നോവേഷൻ ഡിസ്ട്രക്റ്റീവ് ഇന്നോവേഷൻ so definition is this should displace and establish industry. Still search engines are there, right? This should displace an entire industry. Innovation from the industry and then completely photography.
Mobile and camera.
But camera industry is there, right? So that is a radical innovation. But camera as an industry is there, right? Technology radical innovation. But camera as an industry is there, right? This is an industry that e-commerce less than 10% penetration. 90% of the people go to the yeah. People post up.
Public call software.
Okay. Yeah, that can be one example. Any other examples? Industry. Give me some specific example.
No, mobile invention of mobile phone.
Mobile phones
Hello, all public call booths, sir. All public call booths in Kerala disappeared.
Yeah, all public booths. But
Because
telephone
of the-
industry is there, right?
Telephone industry is there.
Yeah.
This is a service industry which completely
Okay, yeah.
out of market.
Yeah, somewhat right. So maybe one example is Netflix. Okay. So when Netflix launched, what was their business model? Delivering DVDs and VCDs, right? As the blockbuster was the market leader. Then they understand that people go for internet for entertainment. Okay. And Netflix become a leader and buy this blockbuster become package. Platform innovation.
Again, Amazon is an example. From a store movement and e-commerce, building in sunrise together.
Good. So platform innovation is how we
Airbnb.
make a platform enriched with more and more features that the user get more value. So when Facebook was started, what was the primary feature? Connecting people, right? ഇപ്പോൾ എന്തൊക്കെയാ Facebook ഉപയോഗിക്കുന്നത്? ഇപ്പോൾ മെയിൻ ആയിട്ട് ഒരാൾ മരിക്കുകയാണെങ്കിൽ Facebook Live, right? That will be a Facebook Live event. Facebook can be used for selling products, right? Yeah. Facebook is used for multiple purposes. These platforms are getting enriched. When Google started, their primary the feature was sending email, right? Now they have a lot of features, right? This is what we call as platform features. You add more and more features that customers' value perception getting enhanced. Open innovation. What do you mean open innovation? Open innovation.
Anyone could innovate.
So anyone?
Could innovate and make innovate.
Yeah, anyone can innovate. When it comes to getting ideas for the innovation, who will be the best source to get the ideas? I mean, who will be the best source of information to share ideas? Is it R&D? But now we do research and development department. Around 200 people are there. And we have 20 plus patents, 200 plus publications. Okay. Whether such kind of people will be the best source of information? Who will be the best source of information? Okay. So So as per Scrum Hawkins, the customers are the best source of information. Now, some companies actually leverage on customers. Have you heard of a concept called customer co-creation? Customer co-creation. Enതാണ് customer co-creation? Yeah, നമ്മള് കസ്റ്റമറെ കൂടെ product development നകത്ത് ഇൻവോൾവ് ചെയ്യും. There are few companies who are doing that. Can you give an example?
Toyota is for design, car design.
Harley Davidson. Okay, so they have a community where they will share the seek ideas with them. IKEA. Okay, they have a platform. Okay, a platform where you can share. You know what IKEA is famous for? What are the frugal but exciting designs, right? ഇത് പലപ്പോഴും കസ്റ്റമറുമായിട്ട് ഒരു കോൺസ്റ്റന്റ് കണക്ട് ഉള്ളതുകൊണ്ടാണ് they are able to build it. So that is frugal innovation. What about frugal innovation? Indians are very famous, right, on frugal innovation. Jugaads. നമ്മൾ ഉടായിപ്പ് എന്നൊക്കെ പറയുമെങ്കിലും പച്ചവെള്ളത്തിൽ ഉടായിപ്പ് എന്ന് പറയുമെങ്കിലും നമ്മൾ technically we will say as frugal innovation, right? So what do you mean frugal innovation? Frugal innovation focus only on the core functions. Unnecessary ആയിട്ടുള്ള functions reduce ചെയ്യും. എൻ്റെ മദർ സ്മാർട്ട് ഫോൺ ഉപയോഗിക്കുന്നുണ്ട്. മദർ ആക്ച്വലി ഫോട്ടോ എടുക്കും, വാട്സപ്പ് ഉപയോഗിക്കും, മേബി ഒരു വീഡിയോ കോൾ ചെയ്യും. ഓക്കെ, അതിന് പുറമെ മേബി ഒരു 90% ഫീച്ചേഴ്സ് ഷീ ഈസ് നോട്ട് യൂസിങ് ഇറ്റ്. Now can you think about developing a product which focus only on core requirements of the customer, so that complexity can be reduced, cost can be reduced. Okay. ഒരു ബെസ്റ്റ് എക്സാമ്പിൾ ദിസ് ഈസ് എ റെഫ്രിജറേറ്റർ. ഇന്ത്യയിലെ കണക്കനുസരിച്ച് ഇന്ത്യയിൽ 20% ആൾക്കാർക്ക് റെഫ്രിജറേറ്റർ അഫോർഡ് ചെയ്യാനുള്ള കപ്പാസിറ്റി ഉണ്ട്. എസ്പെഷ്യലി നമുക്കറിയില്ല, നമ്മൾ നോർത്ത് ഇന്ത്യയിലൊക്കെ പോവുകയാണെങ്കിൽ പീപ്പിൾ ആർ നോട്ട് ഏബിൾ ടു അഫോർഡ് റെഫ്രിജറേറ്റർ. നമ്മൾ എന്താണ് റെഫ്രിജറേറ്റർ ഉപയോഗിക്കുന്നത്? ഓക്കെ, മിക്കവരും ഹസ്ബൻഡ് ആൻഡ് വൈഫ് വർക്കിംഗ് ആയിരിക്കും അല്ലേ? സൺഡേ സാമ്പാർ ഉണ്ടാക്കും, ആ സാമ്പാർ വെള്ളിയാഴ്ച വരെ കൊണ്ടുപോകും. That is our primary purpose. Now, North Indian they may prepare food, avർക്ക് ചിലപ്പോൾ സ്പിൽ ഓവർ വരും, maybe 1 day, 2 day, maximum 1 day അല്ലെങ്കിൽ 2 day അവർക്ക് അത് സൂക്ഷിച്ചാൽ മതി. But this refrigerator is made from our പഴയ clay technology ഉണ്ടല്ലോ, മീൻ ചട്ടി അതിനകത്ത് മീൻ വെക്കുകയാണെങ്കിൽ 2-3 ദിവസമൊക്കെ ട്രിവാൻഡ്രത്തിൽ പുതിയ റെസ്റ്റോറൻറ്റ് ഉണ്ടാക്കി. അവർ എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞാൽ 2 ദിവസം മുമ്പ് ചട്ടിയിൽ ബീഫും മീനും ഉണ്ടാക്കും. നമ്മൾ ചെല്ലും, 2 ദിവസം കഴിഞ്ഞുള്ള ഫുഡാണ്, പക്ഷേ ഇറ്റ് ഈസ് വെരി ടേസ്റ്റി. So this is an example of frugal innovation. So this is another example of frugal innovation. So this going forward, okay. So what are the different kinds of innovation we have seen? 4 major buckets. Product process, marketing and operations. What are the subdivision? Platform, human, frugal, radical, incremental, okay, disruptive. So what are the different tools and techniques for innovation? That's what is brainstorming. What else? Yeah, market research. So industry extensively making or innovation technique is we call it design. Okay. Yeah. So heard about design thinking? So what is design thinking? Yeah, it's you said the right word. Human centric. Okay. Now I'm walking for pleasure. What is the primary purpose of any business? Yeah, making profit, right? Okay. How many of you say that making profit is the primary purpose? Wealth max. Wealth maximization. Okay. Profit. Yeah. Financial terms. So, in fact, wealth maximization or profit generation should be the outcome. What is the primary purpose?
Solving problems.
It is how do we create a value to the business. Okay. Now, what is the difference between a price and a
Price.
Price is the amount we are paying and value is what we are receiving.
Not necessarily. Okay. Value what is we are receiving, but value which is higher, okay, when it comes to the latter, price or value? Okay. Yeah. Okay. Maybe a simple example cinema, cinema. Yeah. But cinema okay, wow, good. So then what is value?
The benefit is more than the cost.
Benefit is more than the cost. Okay, so that is value. One very simple example, pacemaker, heartbeat management. What is the price of a pacemaker? Around 3.5 lakhs, 4 lakhs. What is the value?
Let's see.
Okay. Now some companies are able to create the value to the customers. Our price value. So it is the perceived benefit by the customer. If you talk about the top companies like Nvidia, Apple, Microsoft, right? Our products are price number, right? But people will buy it because there's a value perception in there, right? So how do we create a value? Okay. But human centric. So there is when it comes to design thinking, they treat people not as customers, they treat people as humans. Now, any product consciously, unconsciously, we try to solve a problem, right or not? Okay, when all Mercedes-Benz medical, when all auto medical, that two problem. Mercedes-Benz medical, the problem. Yeah, it can be a transient status. Maybe auto medical affordability, but both have a problem, right? So how do we understand the value of the customers? How do we understand the problems of the customers? Our traditional market research we do give a multiple dimensions. That is what we call as design thinking. So here are the main focus. Focus on values. Show, don't tell. What if I show, don't tell? Can everybody please stand up? How you can see, right? Yes. So it is a small activity. Physical activity is very good for the brain, right? So you need to follow my actions. Are you ready? Yes. So all of you raise your right hand. Touch your head. Bring it back. Touch your forehead. Bring it back. Touch your right eyes. Bring it back. Touch your left eyes. Bring it back. Touch your right eyelid. Bring it back. Touch your left eyelid. Bring it back. Touch your nose. Bring it back. Touch your lips. Bring it back. Touch your teeth. Bring it back. Touch your ear. Bring it back. Touch your chin. Now, where is chin? Sit. So I think 90% of the people place chin ups here. Okay. So why you made the mistakes? എന്നെ വിശ്വസിക്കല്ലേ എന്തുകൊണ്ടാണ് മിസ്റ്റേക്ക് കാണിച്ചത്? Yes, so I was actually delivering two kinds of medium of message. So one was visual and another one was the words. So visual have a maximum impact, right? So when it comes to product development or innovation, we use lot of visual techniques. And on the challenge, but the time is very less. Embrace experimentation. What do you embrace experimentation? Innovation is a drawback because this involves a lot of experimentation, and that experimentation involves a lot of cost, right? Now with the use of simulated environments and the use of Gen AI tools, we can simulate a lot of experiments, okay? And we can have an early failures. Be mindful for process. Okay? This involves a lot of logical process. craft clarity. What do you mean craft clarity? There are many problems, it looks very complicated, but when you go through a design thinking process, you'll be able to get more clarity. Radical collaboration. Whether innovation is specifically applied to one department or we need to collaborate with the different departments. Yeah. We need to deal with finance. We need to deal with the HR. We need to deal with the R&D. We need to deal with the sales. We need to deal with the marketing. It is a radical collaboration. People will come together. Now, finance department, HR department, it is a strategic discussion. Okay. So all people will be involved in it. Even technology, UI, UX, cloud, architect, bias towards action. What is the bias towards action? What do you mean bias towards action?
Favoring one action.
Yeah. Normally, when it comes to creating new ideas, we love to talk, right? There is something called prime time, right? Prime time are the famous popular programs. Yeah, one is these cunning serials. Then there is something called news or talks, right? So what happened in these kind of talks? 4 or 5 people will come together. They will have different ideologies and thought process. And what will be the outcome?
No outcome.
No outcome. So, right? So there will be no outcome, right? This is bias towards action. Maybe let me give you another example. Okay. How many of you know twinkle twinkle little star? Everybody knows, right? You don't know. Okay. So if I ask you to recollect a poem from the 10th standard, will you be able to recollect?
Yes.
Maybe few people, right? Okay. But most of the people find it very difficult. So why you are able to recollect twinkle twinkle little star when you don't remember, when you don't know about the grammar construction? People don't overcome it. Yeah, so there's basically bias towards action. Our body was involved, right? We cycle. We can drive, right? We can ride the cycle, right? So it is, our body have a lot of power. Okay, it is a bias towards actions. Okay, so we call it as a kinesthetic learning, right? So when it comes to design thinking, design thinking workshop, we will ask the people to come with a not good dress because they will become dirty. Because a lot of hands-on exercise are there. So when it comes to innovation, these are the 3 important parameters for any great project. Business viability. What do you mean business viability? Either it can be business viability or a social sustainability. Purely. Cochin Metro, whether it is business viable? It is not viable, right? At least it should talk about something called sustainability. Otherwise, it becomes a white elephant, right? Government, okay, you need to spend a lot of money to maintain that. Technological feasibility. What do you mean technological feasibility? Okay, can you just give me an example of technological feasibility? Samsung and Apple, they are big competitors, right? 6 years ago, Samsung wants to compete with Apple premium segment. So they launched something called Note 7, and I think you may be knowing this story. So what happened was, this Note 7 had a design flaw which leads to the busting of the battery. With the media attention, Southwest Airlines, passenger mobile busting, they had to force to land in the nearest airport. So they recalled the products, but they didn't understand that there's a design flaw. They replaced with a new battery. Again, another beat to put it. Okay. Samsung in the market, brand image, market capitalization, everything actually came down. After that, new models, Oppo, Vivo, new models actually because Samsung, these players were not very active. Okay. So that is called people desirability. What do you mean people desirability? whether people will accept it. Why Tata Nano become a failure? Yeah, so they position that product as cheapest. Okay? So it is, in India, buying a car is considered a social status. When you buy a cheap car, okay, your social status gets depleted. Okay? So when you try to create an innovation, these three factors are very important. So these are the different big companies which implemented the design thinking process. Okay. Now, how do we develop an innovation? Assume you are working in a company and you need to create a new innovation. What are the different steps?
Identify problem.
Identify problem, okay. Brainstorming, okay. Problem that matters to the customers. Okay, fine. Are you okay in asking a lot of questions to you? Don't get offended, right? Are you okay? Yeah. Anything else?
Feasible solution.
Feasible solution, very good.
Prototype.
Prototype, who's a prototype? Are you from engineering background? Okay. Prototype. So basically, these are the stages starting with something called empathize. What do you empathize? Identifying the root cause of the problem. Okay. Define. What do you mean define? What is the actual problem? If we are a doctor, we have a lot of symptoms. Okay. So what does the doctor do? Yeah, medical test, CT scan, MRI scan, blood test. Okay. Then he will read all the reports, he will analyze, and he will come to a conclusion that this is the disease. Prescribe medicines, okay, after diagnosis. So that is the theme of a doctor. Ideate, what if ideate? Thinking about different kinds of solutions. Prototype. Creating a small model of the product. Rather than larger, you heard about something called alpha production, beta production. We will create a small model of the product. Testing. Okay, before launching the product, you need to test in the market. Okay, fine. Can you move forward? Yes. So can you do a small activity? Yes. But can you see a lot of birds there? So this is a combined activity. What you have to do is you need to read louder these words horizontally. Okay? So can you start? Everybody together, loudly.
Yellow, blue, orange, black, red, green, purple, yellow, red, orange, green, black, blue, red, purple, green, blue, orange.
Good. Looks like a nursery class. Now we will have a different pace today. Rather than saying the words, you need to say the color. We'll say this one. Okay. Loudly, quickly.
Green, red, blue, yellow, blue, black, red, blue, green, black, red, yellow, green, blue, black, blue, red, green.
So which one was difficult? Why it was difficult?
Conflict of the color.
Yeah, conflict. What conflict?
The actual color and
Yeah, color and the birds, right? Okay. So normally it's all theory, but it is still relevant. You hear the left brain, right brain. Left brain try to identify the word and right brain try to identify the colors. Normally we may have either left brain domination or a right brain domination. Okay. So maybe we can call it as a divergent thinking and a convergent thinking. Okay. So what do you mean divergent? Thinking outside the box, convergent, coming to a specific point. Okay. So which kind of brain do you have? Whether divergent brain or convergent brain? So can we have a test? Yes. Yeah. Do you have a brain? Yes. Then take a test. So take your pen and paper.
Then
ഞാൻ 3 questions ചോദിക്കും. നിങ്ങളുടെ മനസ്സിൽ വരുന്ന ഓപ്ഷൻസ് ക്യാപ്ചർ ചെയ്യാം. Maybe 2-3 options. Ready? First question. Think about flowers comes to your mind. Flowers, പൂക്കൾ. Right? Yeah. ഞാൻ 3 ക്വസ്റ്റ്യൻ ചോദിക്കും. ഓരോ ക്വസ്റ്റ്യൻ നിങ്ങളുടെ മനസ്സിൽ വരുന്ന ഓപ്ഷൻസ് എന്താണെന്നുള്ളത് എഴുതുക. 2-3 ഓപ്ഷൻസ്. Type in mobile. Okay, done. Now, second question is think about colors which comes to your mind. Colors. Okay, done. One option, think about furniture which comes to your mind. Furniture. Furniture Malayalam എനിക്കറിയില്ല. എന്താണ് ഫർണിച്ചറിന്റെ മലയാളം? Okay. Done. So have you heard about a person called mentalist?
yes,
Who is a mentalist? Who can read others' person?
mentalist Adi.
ഞാൻ എൻ്റെ ഒരു പോസ്റ്റ് ഗ്രാജുവേഷൻ is in psychology. Just try to read your book. So I will read few options. If you are able to write the same option, raise your hands and try to see whether others also write the same. Okay? So first option there, no?
Rose.
How many of you wrote rose? Raise your hands. And just see others also. How many of you wrote sunflower? Jasmine? Lotus? Lily? How many of you wrote hibiscus? Okay. How many of you wrote anthurium? Orchid? So if you see, most of you are actually opted for a rose, sunflower, lily or jasmine. Anthurium, orchid ഒക്കെ കുറച്ച് anthurium ആരും സ്പെല്ലിംഗ് ഒക്കെ Then we'll go to the second question. Second question, color, right? How many of you wrote red, blue, yellow, green, white, black? How many of you wrote magenta? How many of you wrote purple? How many of you wrote peach? So most of your answers are revolved around few options, right? The Asian paint showroom, you have 1,000 colors. Interestingly, they have name for each color also, right? Third, furniture, right? Chair, table, okay, almara, sofa, okay, okay. Podium, like a teacher's cell, not interesting. This is actually. Now, if you observe your answers, you have a commonality, right? So it shows one kind of thing, that is what we call as convergent. We can call it the top of the mind also. Mind top level. What is divergent? Going away from a point. Innovation is going away from a point. Trying to create something new. Okay. Generally, Indians maybe we can call more as a convergent thinkers. We are very good in logic, analysis, interpretation, right? But when it comes to creating something outside the box, there's a lot of facts are there, right? US, Apple, Microsoft, we are users. We are very good consumers. India, we have a large number of middle class people. Japan produces Honda, Toyota, we are users. Germany produces BMW, we are users, right? We don't have something called products. We don't actually nurture innovation. How many Nobel Prize we have? In science? We have only one, right? CV Raman, the 1930s, right? So countries like UK and Switzerland, Sweden, okay, they produce maybe more than 40 Nobel Prizes, right? So what can be the reason why we are not innovative as a India? Now, Indian IT industry prices like because all these kind of low-code jobs can be used by a Gen Z. Okay, we need to move up the ladder. Even China, when they started like copying, but they move up the ladder, right? Okay, so if you talk about VAANI, okay, they move up the ladder. Now they have a direct competition with Tesla, right? Okay, our fast at movie, copying innovation. So why Indians are less innovative? What can be the reason?
Lazy.
ചില ലേസി ആൾക്കാർ ഭയങ്കര ക്രിയേറ്റീവ് ആയിരിക്കും. Yeah, from childhood. Basically, our culture and education play a major role, right? Culture in the sense we don't encourage failures, okay? We don't encourage business, we don't encourage entrepreneurship, we don't encourage startups. Education. What is the problem with education? It is a rote learning, okay? That is left brain, like assimilation and vomiting in the answer paper. That is the focus. If industry, we face a problem. I said that I hired 300 people. We have to put them training for 6 months. 6 months, 300 training cost. Only one job is training. That is, super jolly. But 6 months, they are not able to clear the benchmarks. Infosys layoff. We cannot blame them, right? How far a company can be able to sustain people in the bench? It's a huge cost. Okay, our salary was 4.5 lakhs. Okay, and these people 300 into at an average 33,000 rupees. 6 months. We thought അതിന് ശേഷം പിന്നെ ഒരു 6-7 മാസം കഴിഞ്ഞാലായിരിക്കും അവരെ ശരിക്കും പ്രോജക്റ്റിലേക്ക് ബില്ലബിൾ ആക്കാൻ പറ്റും. A lot of people are saying that okay, most of the IT companies is giving the freshers starter salaries stagnant, right? And the main reason is that even 1 വർഷം 1.5 വർഷം കഴിഞ്ഞാലേ ഇവരെ ബില്ലബിലിറ്റിയിലേക്ക് ആക്കാൻ പറ്റുള്ളൂ. So what I mean is, okay, when people try to implement something real in the industry world, okay, a lot of people lack the skill set, okay, application oriented, product mindset. Okay. As academicians, you have a great role in that fact. So can we move forward? Any questions? No questions? So when there are no questions, there are 2 assumptions.
You asked us to write something when you say the word or something. Now, if you are writing the attributes of that, then what type of brain is that?
Yeah.
You are writing the attributes of that. Now you asked us to write
attributes of the words, right? Okay. Maybe
flowers.
Yeah.
So actually, I wrote beautiful,
colorful. I mean, you are committed to creative side, imagination side.
Because I am not doing any of the
right? Creative side.
Diversity.
So, let us. Can we move forward? So let us start with empathy, right? So, anybody have undergone an MRI scan?
Yes.
How was your experience in undergoing an MRI scan? It is very horrible, right? Very dramatic. കാരണം എന്താ? നമ്മളെ എന്താണ് ഒരു പർട്ടിക്കുലർ ഇതുപോലെ ഒരു ടേബിൾ ലൈക്ക് സ്ട്രക്ചറിൽ കിടത്തും. ഓക്കെ, അതിനുശേഷം ഒരു ട്യൂബ് ലൈക്ക് സ്ട്രക്ചറിലേക്ക് പോകും. It will take around 30 to 45 minutes. There will be no one else allowed in that. എന്നിട്ട് നമ്മുടെ ബോഡി അനങ്ങാൻ പാടില്ല. നമ്മുടെ ഒരു കാര്യം ചെയ്യരുത്. Don't think about blue elephant. നമ്മുടെ അനങ്ങാൻ പാടില്ല എന്ന് പറയുമ്പോഴേക്കും വീണ്ടും ടെൻഷനാണ്. അത് ഈവൻ ഹെഡിനുള്ള സ്കാൻ ആണെങ്കിൽ ഈവൻ യു കനോട്ട് സോളോ യുവർ സലൈവ ഓൾസോ. Okay, it is very difficult. So ഇത് തുടങ്ങുമ്പോഴേക്കും ഭയങ്കര നോയ്സ് ആയിരിക്കും, കൺ നോയ്സസ് പോലെ. പിന്നെ ഇടയ്ക്ക് ഭയങ്കര സൈലന്റ് ആയിരിക്കും, പിന്നെ നോയ്സ്, റൈറ്റ്? This 30 to 45 minutes is a bit traumatic, right? Now just assume a MRI scan needs to be done with a kid. What does normally doctor recommend? Our obviously I mean right or not? I mean kid in the sense 5th, 4th standard, 3rd standard normally doctors. Yeah, sedating, sedating. Normally sedating a kid is not ideal. So there was a guy, okay, his name is Doug Deeds, G Healthcare working around. He identified that only creating the product is not giving a value experience to the customers. Okay. So he made a frugal innovation. So this is the frugal innovation. So what is the innovation? This is what you call a frugal innovation. In the innovation, he converted the entire theme into, theme park. So children go and love it. And even before going there, okay, they are given their grooming, orientation. Even radiographers, they had a different kind of dress. The theme park and the patient satisfaction score went up 90%. Children does not feel anxiety. Children got anxiety. Parents, right? Okay. So that's a classic example how a company they are able to identify a problem. Okay, empathize with the problem. Okay. Now, how can a company can understand the problem of the business?
Feedback.
Internet. Oh, interaction. Okay, yeah. So one is interaction. Okay, good. Feedback from the customer. Good.
On the problem of
the customer. That's the problem.
Switching of customers.
Yeah.
Switching of customers.
You yourself become a customer.
Switching of customers.
Switching of customer. Okay. You never are going to know. Okay. ഒരാളുടെ അഭിപ്രായം മാത്രം വേണ്ട അല്ലേ? Okay. Good. Then. Yeah. Observation. How do you observe? Right. Excellent. Basically, we can put it into 3 buckets: immerse, engage, observe. What is the immerse? You immerse yourself as a customer. Okay, suppose there's an online program and you clear the program with the distinction and jumping into the water, right? What will happen? Yeah, you will die, right? You need to jump into the water, right? Now, suppose if you want to understand the problem of the customer, you yourself become a customer, right? So that is what we call immerse. Here are a classic example. നമ്മുടെ ഇന്ത്യയിലെടുത്ത് നോക്കുകയാണെങ്കിൽ നമ്മുടെ പബ്ലിക് ട്രാൻസ്പോർട്ടേഷൻ പബ്ലിക് ബിൽഡിങ്സ് ഫിസിക്കലി ചലഞ്ചറായിട്ടുള്ള ആൾക്കാർക്ക് ഫ്രണ്ട്ലിയാണ് ഒട്ടും ഫ്രണ്ട്ലി അല്ല. എനിക്കൊരു മേജർ ആക്സിഡന്റ് കിട്ടിയിട്ടുണ്ട്. ഐ വാസ് ഓൾമോസ്റ്റ് ബെഡ് റിഡൻ ഫോർ 6 months. അപ്പം എന്നെ ഹോസ്പിറ്റലിലേക്ക് പോകുന്നതെല്ലാം ഞാൻ വീൽ ചെയറിലോ അല്ലെങ്കിൽ സ്ട്രെച്ചറിലോ ആയിരിക്കും. അപ്പം എൻ്റെ ഫ്ലാറ്റിൽ വീടിൽ ഹാഡ് എ റാമ്പ് ആൻഡ് ഹോസ്പിറ്റലിലുള്ള റാമ്പ് തന്നെ ഈ മറ്റേ പല ഗട്ടറും ഇങ്ങനെ ചാടി പോകും. ആ സമയത്ത് ഓരോ ചെറിയ ജഗ്സ് ഇറ്റ്സ് എ ലോട്ട് ഓഫ് പെയിൻ. സോ ഐ അണ്ടർസ്റ്റാൻഡ് ദാറ്റ്. അപ്പോഴാണ് നമ്മൾ മനസ്സിലാക്കുന്നത്. ഓക്കെ, സോ വാട്ട് ഹാപ്പൻ ഈസ് പീപ്പിൾ ഹൂ ഡെവലപ്പ് സച്ച് കൈൻഡ് ഓഫ് സിസ്റ്റം ദേ ഡോണ്ട് എംപതൈസ്. സോ അതിന് മുമ്പ് വാട്ട് ഇസ് ദ ഡിഫറൻസ് ബിറ്റ്വീൻ സിമ്പതി ആൻഡ് എംപതി? ഞാൻ അതിലേക്ക് പോകാൻ ഒരു സ്ലൈഡ് pity, sympathy, empathy and compassion. ഇതിന്റെ 4 ഡിഫറൻസ് ഉണ്ട്. Sympathy, yeah, feel sorry for others. Okay.
Empathy, putting what is others.
Empathy എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞാൽ നമ്മൾ വേറൊരാളുടെ പെയിൻ അതേപോലെ നമുക്ക് മനസ്സിലാകും. Pity, yes, അത് നമുക്ക് വളരെ ഈ മലയാളികൾ ചിരിക്കുമ്പോൾ തന്നെ ഒരു പ്രത്യേകത. ഇതാണ് ഈ സൈഡ് എപ്പോഴും ഒരു ചിരിക്കുന്നത്. എല്ലാത്തിനും ഒരു സ്വതന്ത്ര ഉച്ചഭാവം. So that is pity, pucham. Okay. Now what is compassion? What is compassion?
Be with them. Be with, console them.
That is empathy, right? Be with them. Yeah. Excellent. Do something to solve the problem of the customer. Okay. Start with pity and then compassion is, can you take some action? to solve the pain points of the customer. ഞാൻ പറയുന്നത് എനിക്കൊരു മേജർ ആക്സിഡന്റ് വന്നപ്പോഴേ ഞാൻ റോഡിൽ കുറേ നേരം കിടക്കുമായിരുന്നു. കുറേ പേരെ ചുറ്റും നോക്കി, കുറേ പേര് കുച്ചത്തോടെ പോയി, ഒക്കെ കുറേ കഴിയുമ്പോൾ 2 പേരാണ് എന്നെ ഹെൽപ്പ് ചെയ്ത് ഹോസ്പിറ്റലിൽ കൊണ്ടുപോയി. ഈ എമ്പതി ആൻഡ് കമ്പാഷൻ ഒരു നോർമലി വരുന്നില്ല. We have to undergo the problem. എന്നാൽ മാത്രമേ നമുക്ക് ഒരാളുടെ എമ്പതി മനസ്സിലാകൂ. I'll just come back, okay? കോവിഡ് കഴിഞ്ഞപ്പോഴേക്കും നമ്മൾ ഓഫീസ് തുറന്നു, നമുക്ക് വീക്ക്ലി വൺസ് അന്ന് ആ സമയത്ത് ടെക്നോപാർക്ക് തന്നെയായിരുന്നു, വീക്ക്ലി വൺസ് ഓഫീസിൽ പോയിരുന്നു. പക്ഷേ all these kind of mask, okay, social distance was there. ഒരു ദിവസം ഞാൻ ടെക്നോപാർക്കിൽ തിരിച്ചു വരുമ്പോഴേക്കും ഒരു പയ്യനൊരു ആക്സിഡന്റ് പറ്റി താഴെ കിടക്കുന്നു, കുറച്ച് പേര് ദൂരെ നിന്ന് നോക്കുന്നു, ഇവൻ നല്ല പെയിനിൽ കിടന്ന് കരയുന്നു. അപ്പോൾ എനിക്ക് മനസ്സിലായി this pain is because of fracture. Okay, fracture pain എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞാൽ it is നമുക്ക് unbearable ആണ്, സഹിക്കാൻ പറ്റില്ല. Okay, I realized that this guy had a fracture. Nobody is trying to help him, okay, because it's a COVID. എനിക്ക് അന്ന് ഫ്രാക്ചറിന്റെ പെയിൻ മനസ്സിലാക്കിയതുകൊണ്ട് I took initiative and took him to the hospital and spent one night in the hospital. ഞാൻ തിരിച്ചു വന്നപ്പോൾ എൻ്റെ ഭാര്യ ഭാര്യ അടുപ്പിക്കുന്നില്ല, സോഷ്യൽ ഡിസ്റ്റൻസ്, പിള്ളേരുടെ അടുത്ത് വരണ്ട. Why I forced you to take that action? Because I had that pain. അതുകൊണ്ടാണ് നമുക്ക് വേറൊരാളുടെ പെയിൻ മനസ്സിലാകുന്നത്. പലപ്പോഴും നമ്മൾ എമ്പതി എന്ന് പറയുകയാണെങ്കിൽ നമ്മൾ ആ പെയിൻ മനസ്സിലാക്കാതെ വേറൊരാളുടെ പെയിൻ മനസ്സിലാക്കുന്നത്. ഓക്കെ, those who do a lot of social work, okay, ചാരിറ്റി ചെയ്യുന്ന അവരെന്തോ ഒരു പെയിൻ അനുഭവിച്ചുള്ളത് കൊണ്ടാണ് അവർ അങ്ങനെ ഇനിഷ്യേറ്റീവ് എടുക്കുന്നത്. So when it comes to understanding the customer, they have to understand the same problem. അല്ലെങ്കിൽ അവർക്ക് നല്ലൊരു സൊല്യൂഷൻസ് ഡെവലപ്പ് ചെയ്യാൻ പറ്റില്ല. അപ്പോൾ അതിനകത്തൊരു ജസ്റ്റ് ഒരു എക്സാമ്പിൾ, നമ്മളിപ്പോൾ സൂപ്പർ മാർക്കറ്റിൽ പോവുകയാണെങ്കിൽ you all go to supermarkets, right? നമ്മൾ ഈ goods എല്ലാം maybe essential and non essential എന്ന് വേണമെങ്കിൽ പറയാം. Okay, what are essential products? Your onion, tomato, okay. What are the non essential things? Cosmetics, noodles, biscuits, right? നമ്മൾ നോർമലി പോവുകയാണെങ്കിൽ ഈ നോൺ എസെൻഷ്യൽ ഐറ്റംസ് it will be put in different racks. ഇത് എവിടെയായിരിക്കും നോർമലി? It is the mid rack. Why it is in the mid rack? Easy access.
For eye catching.
Eye catching, okay. You know difference between customer and consumer? Who is a consumer? Who buys it? Who is a customer? Who pays for it, okay? ഇങ്ങനത്തെ പ്രൊഡക്ട്സിന്റെ ഏറ്റവും വലിയ കൺസ്യൂമർ ആരായിരിക്കും? ഒന്നീ ഭാര്യ അല്ലെങ്കിൽ പിള്ളേർ, അല്ലേ? So they want to attract the attention of these people, and that gives high margin. ഒരു ഓൾഡ് ഏജ് ആയിട്ടുള്ള ആള് പാവയാൾക്ക് കുറച്ച് പഞ്ചസാരയും സവാളയും മാത്രം മതി. What he had to do? He had to bend it down or he had to stretch it up to get that product. Right or not? ഇത് പലപ്പോഴും ഒരു ആർക്കിടെക്റ്റോ അല്ലെങ്കിൽ ഒരു എഞ്ചിനീയറോ ഒന്നും ശരിക്കും മനസ്സിലാക്കുന്നില്ല എന്താണ് പ്രശ്നം. So what Massachusetts Institute of Technology, okay, they developed something called ACTNES, Age Gain Now Empathy System. Okay, what is that? അതായത് ഇതൊരു സ്യൂട്ടാണ്. ഈ സ്യൂട്ട് നമ്മൾ വെയർ ചെയ്യുവാണെങ്കിൽ ഓക്കെ ഈ ബ്രേക്കിനാണ് സമയത്ത് ബോർഡിച്ചിട്ട് പറഞ്ഞോ ഞാൻ ഇതൊന്ന് ഏജ് ഗെയിൻ. അപ്പൊ ഈ ഒരു സ്യൂട്ട് വെയർ ചെയ്തിട്ടുമ്പോഴേക്കും നമ്മൾ ഒരു ഓൾഡ് ഏജ് ആളിന് എന്താണ് ബുദ്ധിമുട്ട്? ഇപ്പൊ നമ്മൾ പറയുന്നത് നമ്മുടെ അച്ഛനും അമ്മയും ഇപ്പൊ കൊച്ചു കുട്ടികളെ പോലെയാണ്, ഭയങ്കര വാശിയാണ്. ബിക്കോസ് ദേ ആർ അണ്ടർഗോയിങ് ലോട്ട് ഓഫ് ട്രാൻസ്ഫോർമേഷൻ, റൈറ്റ്? ഓക്കെ, അപ്പം ഇത് ചെയ്തിട്ട് ഇവരെ they will go to different places, go to the supermarkets, try to get into the public transport. Not the points. These are the problems faced by the old people. And then we'll discuss with the archaeologists, architects, okay, and the engineers. Okay, so this is one thing. Fine. So with that, okay, can we have the beautiful part of the day?
So after wearing it, what is the specialty of them?
Yeah.
Okay. How do they sympathize or empathize with all these people after wearing this particular coat?
അല്ല, അവർക്ക് ആ ബുദ്ധിമുട്ട് എന്താണെന്ന് മനസ്സിലാവും. ഈ മൂവ്മെന്റ് റെസ്ട്രിക്ഷൻസ്, അതായത് കുനിയുമ്പോഴേക്ക് നടുവേദന, ഓക്കെ, ബിക്കോസ് there is lot of stretch bands, visibility, neckbands flexibility ഒന്നും ഉണ്ടാകത്തില്ല. So they try to enter into a public transportation system. So okay. ലോകത്തിലെ ഏറ്റവും ബെസ്റ്റ് ഇൻഫ്രാസ്ട്രക്ചർ ഉള്ള കൺട്രിയാണ്. സിംഗപ്പൂരിൽ പോവുകയാണെങ്കിൽ ഓക്കെ എല്ലാ റോഡ് ബേസിലും അത് ഫിസിക്കലി ചലഞ്ചഡ് ആയിട്ടുള്ള ആൾക്കാർക്ക് വേണ്ടി പ്രത്യേക ഇയർ മാർക്ക് ചെയ്തിട്ടുണ്ട്. ബ്ലൈൻഡ് പീപ്പിൾ, ഈവൻ ഇഫ് യു ഗോ ടു ദ എയർപോർട്ട് ഓർ ടു ദ മെട്രോ സ്റ്റേഷൻ, എല്ലാം പെർഫെക്റ്റ്ലി പ്ലാൻ. ബിക്കോസ് they put lot of emphasis on these kind of, understanding the challenges of other people. Okay. Yeah.
ഭയങ്കര ബുദ്ധിമുട്ടാണ് ഇതിങ്ങനെ ഫിക്സ് ചെയ്ത് ഇവിടെ വെച്ചാൽ മതി.
Toxic leadership, very controversial kind of stuff. I think can we fill it later?
Yeah, sure.
This word is now repeated multiple times in a lot of articles. Toxicity. Industrial, the toxicity, toxic boss, attrition. That's what we want to study about. From an industry perspective, we feel that okay, academy can be a good place where we can look into. Our next phase, last like a process of practice, that is maybe our ambition. But let me check otherwise. How many of you are interested in coming to industry? Like green is always better on the other files. Yeah? Mix up both. I think, so personally I feel that the concept of professor in practice is really good. It's my personal perspective. Yeah. I think academicians should come from the industry. They should be in the battlefield, they should understand what is happening in the battlefield, and that the wisdom needs to be passed to the students, right? So, however, some people directly come into the academies, but how can you gain exposure to the industry? Yeah, so one can be consulting, okay? Yeah? Live projects. Maybe then have some kind of industry visits, engage with industry experts. Maybe I invite all you to come to NEST group. In case you have time, please connect with me. I think we associated with the XIV. I can show you the electronics part. Okay. So we engage a little bit of such activities where people can get some kind of industry exposure. I can take you to the NEST software division, connect with the industry experts, talk about different perspectives also. I think that can sometimes help. Faculty internship. Suppose you want to explore few areas. Maybe we can think about it. I think I have discussions with a lot of colleges, but it didn't take up. Okay? Maybe I think I heard one article. I mean, I seen one article in LinkedIn. Nowadays, most of the engineering colleges are filled with the doctors, not engineers. It is very interesting. In that, even that
Teachers are trained teachers.
article പറയുന്നത് teachers ഇപ്പോഴും കൂടുതലും emphasis ചെയ്യുന്നത് the accreditation, paperwork, process, okay? They don't have much time to understand what is happening in the industry, getting an update in the industry. They have a lot of pressure on publications. Publications, okay? So most of the time, this research is not at all relevant to the industry also. Right? Sorry, okay, I mean, if I can't even, it is purely personal. It is not a part of NEST also.
Some of the things that you mentioned, like,
yeah.
Throw some light on how to make research industry relevant actually. That's very important.
Yeah, so that's a good question. Okay? So we do have a lot of industry problems. Okay, for example, sorry. Maybe the English and English വലിയ മാസ്റ്ററി ഒന്നും ആയതുകൊണ്ടല്ല നമ്മളുടെ ഓർഗനൈസേഷനിൽ നമ്മൾ കമ്പൽസറി ആയിട്ട് നമ്മൾ ഇംഗ്ലീഷ് ഉപയോഗിക്കണം അതുകൊണ്ടാണ്. സോ വൺ ഈസ് ഇൻഡസ്ട്രിയിൽ നമുക്ക് ഒരുപാട് ഇൻഡസ്ട്രി പ്രോബ്ലംസ് ഉണ്ട്. It is not a customer problem. We feel that if we develop this product, this can be deployed in the customer. ഈ കസ്റ്റമർ പ്രോബ്ലത്തിലോട്ട് നമുക്ക് പുറത്തുനിന്ന് ഒരാളെ ഡിപ്ലോയ് ചെയ്യാൻ പറ്റുന്നില്ല. ഇപ്പോൾ ഒരുപാട് കുട്ടികൾ ഇന്റേൺഷിപ്സ് കൊടുക്കുന്നുണ്ട്. എന്തുകൊണ്ടാണ് കമ്പനികൾ ഇന്റേൺഷിപ്സ് കൊടുക്കാത്തത്? ഞാൻ കൂടുതൽ എഞ്ചിനീയറിംഗ് സൈഡിലാണ് ഞാൻ പറയുന്നത്. I get minimum, I'm handling internships, nested internships, ഞാൻ ഹാൻഡിൽ ചെയ്യുന്നു. നമ്മൾ ചില ഹൈ ലെവൽ റെക്കമെൻഡേഷൻ മാത്രം കൺസിഡർ ചെയ്യും. ഫോർ എക്സാമ്പിൾ, ഇൻകം ടാക്സ് കമ്മീഷണർ, DGP, നമുക്ക് അങ്ങനെ ഇഗ്നോർ ചെയ്യാൻ പറ്റുന്നില്ല. നമ്മൾ ആ ഒരു എക്കോസിസ്റ്റത്തിൽ വർക്ക് ചെയ്യുന്നുണ്ട്. എന്തുകൊണ്ടാണ് നമുക്ക് അത് എല്ലാ കോളേജസിലും ഇന്റേൺഷിപ്സ് എന്തായിരിക്കും ഇന്റേൺഷിപ്സ് കൊടുക്കുന്നത്? You know Malayalam? Okay, fine. But unfortunately, I need to say it in Malayalam. What is IP protection? Okay. അതായത് നമ്മളൊരു കസ്റ്റമർ പ്രൊജക്ട്സിലേക്ക് പറയുമ്പോഴേക്കും നമ്മൾ ഇന്ന ആൾക്കാരെയാണ് നമ്മൾ പറയുന്നത്. Okay, this is the head company, this is the profitable people. And we cannot, because of the confidentiality agreement and NDA, we cannot expose this project to any outsiders. അപ്പോൾ അതുകൊണ്ട് ഈ കുട്ടികളെ ഒന്നും ഒരു ഇന്റേൺഷിപ്പിലേക്ക് നമുക്ക് എടുക്കുവാനും any IT company or most of these big IT companies, they have a conflict because അവർ ഡീൽ ചെയ്യുന്ന കസ്റ്റമേഴ്സ് ചിലപ്പോൾ വലിയ കസ്റ്റമേഴ്സ്. ഫോർ എക്സാമ്പിൾ നമ്മൾ ഡീൽ ചെയ്യുന്ന ഞാൻ പറയില്ല റഫേൽ, ബോയിങ്, എയർബസ്, ആപ്പിൾ, ടെസ്ല ഇങ്ങനത്തെ കസ്റ്റമേഴ്സിൻ്റെ ആണ്. അപ്പോൾ ഇവരുടെ ഒരു പ്രൊജക്ട് ഡീറ്റെയിൽസ് പുറത്തേക്ക് പോകുക എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞു കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ nobody will allow it. So then second question, what we expect from an intern in case നമ്മൾ proof of concept create ചെയ്യുന്നു, what we expect from an intern?
Basic knowledge.
Yeah, they should contribute back, right? ഇവിടെ നമ്മൾ എന്താ ചെയ്യുന്നത്? നമ്മൾ ഇവനെ എല്ലാം പഠിപ്പിച്ചിട്ട് വേണം നമ്മൾ ഇവനെ ആ ഒരു എക്സ്പെക്ടേഷൻ. that takes a lot of time also. So being said that, ഇപ്പോൾ നമ്മളിപ്പം അണ്ടർടേക്ക് ചെയ്യുന്ന ചില പ്രോജക്ട്സ് എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞു കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ something called proof of concept. കേട്ടിട്ടുണ്ടായിരുന്നു something called proof of concept. What is a proof of concept? This is ഒരു solutions which can be probably used for a customer. Okay, അത് നമ്മൾ ഡെവലപ്പ് ചെയ്തിട്ടായിരിക്കും നമ്മൾ കസ്റ്റമറിനെ നമ്മൾ പിച്ച് ചെയ്യുന്നത്. Currently we doing a lot of research in EV. അപ്പം നമ്മൾ വിചാരിച്ചു we will engage with academia and try to get leverage of prime moves. അപ്പോൾ നമ്മൾ ഒന്ന് രണ്ട് കോളേജസുമായിട്ട് നമ്മൾ കണക്ട് ചെയ്തു. Then we finally entered an MOU with the college. അപ്പോൾ നമ്മൾ ഈ പ്രോബ്ലം സ്റ്റേറ്റ്മെന്റ് അത് കൊടുത്തു. Now they are developing the problem statement. We funded a little bit from our partners. Currently, I am discussing with the 3 other companies. Okay? Where we share our problems. They will create a proof of concept. Our proof of concept develop the customer making. The faculty can also come and engage with the other industry. That is one thing we do. And now second is, in case technology background, you can come to our facility, maybe Gen9, okay, GitHub Copilot. So we will show you how GitHub Copilot can be used for coding, testing, okay, implementation, software development, life cycle, other etc. So these are the few things you can do. Did I answer it? Little bit. You are not fully convinced. I mean, minor, not a large scale, or a small scale. These are the different kind of industry engagements people can get into. IP rights are there. We had a number of university there was a discussion. Finally, they said that IP rights should be with the university. We said that it is not possible. It should come to us. Because in the product is being developed, right? The market the rights should be with us. At least say joint rights. Can we move forward? Okay, yeah. So, what we were discussing? Okay, yes, we were discussing about innovation. We were discussing about different kinds of innovation. We were discussing about the design thinking process. What are the 5 stages of design thinking? Empathize, define, ideate, prototype, testing. See, we were actually discussing about 3 things. Okay, so one is inverse, engage. What do you engage? What do you engage?
Experience.
Yeah, discussion. Okay, you ask a question, okay, and you get an answer. Okay, survey. Right, survey is another model of engagement. Whether survey is very powerful. Survey is very powerful.
No.
No. Nowadays, most of the people don't respond to surveys, right? I in the PhD, the sample size is 500. Even more available, our then the professional side. Then what I did was I given an Amazon voucher of 300 rupees. Because in foreign countries, if you spend a time on a survey, that needs to be acknowledged. No, what I'm saying is, survey is not very industry powerful. So the data is now produced is secondary, the unstructured image. So what is structured and unstructured data? You are a research scholar and you can talk about it.
Structured is classified in the parts.
Okay. What is unstructured?
More data reviews and other.
Yeah. So you have a lot of social media reviews. Okay. Around 70% of the data is unstructured image. So how do you analyze unstructured data? Yeah, large language models. Okay. Basically, you use a Python or R and try to identify a cloud and observe. What do you observe? Yeah, observe the customer. Very interesting incident case study. Indra Joy Noodle. Who is that? Indra Joy Noodle. Yeah. One of the famous Indian corporate personality. Pepsi chairman.
It is Indra Krishnamurthy.
Yeah. Chudal, right? I don't know. Chudal. Now, when she became a chairman of Pepsi, first women chairman, Coca-Cola was actually had a lot of market share. Normally a company CEOs company struggle they appoint consultants, right? PwC, EY consultants in a company. they charge huge money also. Recently, I heard that one college appointed KPMG as a consultant. Okay, one college from Kerala, I don't want to mention that college also. So, they charge a huge amount, right, for consultancy. So what she did was she appointed few design thinking experts. Okay, and first they observe the customers, how a customer is using a product. Pepsi is a product, they are into foods also, right? Okay, for example, chips.
Lays.
Yeah, Lays. Okay. Very interesting observation on the other. Ladies and gents, okay, when they use the chips, okay, any observation, any behavioral pattern difference in there. Chips, chips.
Flavors, the flavors.
That's a good observation. Socialization. Socialization. Yeah, flavors are not very relevant for article. Okay. Yeah.
And part of the socialization they don't get for the
Then. Yeah, that's good. Chala observation. Thanks for your wonderful observations. But observation, pending on the chips, they don't want to hear the noise of biting. Right? Yeah. Generally, okay. So they came out with changing the size of the chips so that there is less noise when you bite the chips. That is one observation. Second, pending on the chips, stains, food stains, they are very much bothered. The food stains falling on their body. Okay. Men is not normally much bothered about that, right? Okay, especially socialization. So Pepsi came out with a sanitizer. You know what is a sanitizer, right? Sanitizer, another chips, especially foreign countries, they can have the chips so that it will not fall on their body. Okay. It's a simple observation, but made a huge impact. So that's the power of what? Observation. Observation power check it. Okay, you should have a good focus, good attention span. Just that related, but a funny activity. I will show you a video. What you have to do is this video will have two teams. One team is in black color and another one is in white color. Just give me 1 second. Okay, are you ready? So, can the team under? One team is black, one team is white. These teams actually pass ball with each other. Okay, so what you have to do is you have to count how many passes made in the white, within the white. Okay. Now you have approximately 23 seconds to count the passes. Okay. So your focus should be so optimal. Are you ready? It's a video. Two teams. One is having white and another one is having black. Your task: count how many passes made within the white team. Within the white. Okay. I'm going to go to the basket. White team 23 seconds. Okay. So we are going to start. Are you ready?
Awareness test. How many passes does the team in white make?
13.
Anybody saw 12? 12. How many 13?
13.
Anybody saw 14? 12. Okay. Yeah, good. So the right answer is 30. Take your right hand, put it on your back, and say you are having a very good focus. Now let me ask a question. When these teams were passing ball with each other, okay, there was one fat guy who was wearing a dress of a black leather and who was doing a moonwalk like Michael Jackson. How many of you seen that?
Michael Jackson or
Michael Jackson. I think hardly 20% of the people saw it. Okay. Now I am going to repeat this particular video. You try to see a person who is doing a moonwalk like a Michael Jackson.
The answer is 30. But did you see the moonwalking fan?
So my question, okay, why you miss that particular fact?
Because we are
You are focusing on counting the balls. Okay. So in psychology, there is something called selective perception. What do you mean selective perception?
we see what we want.
We see what we want to see, right? Okay. So this advertisement newspaper we will look at an advertisement unless we don't have a need, right? Okay. So this is what we call a selective perception. Okay, the focus. And these people, especially the design thinkers, they have a great observation capability. Our students are facing a problem.
Concentration.
No. Data is the new or the now we said that focus is the new oil. How they are able to put focus for a long time. Recent Microsoft research said that our attention span is less than 13 seconds.
8 seconds.
Which is less than of a goldfish. Goldfish accuracy it is always restless. Focus attention. Have you heard a book called Deep Work?
Yes.
Yeah, it's a great book. It talks about a lot of people who have gained immense benefits because they are able to put a lot of focus on one thing. Especially company like us, right? We do a lot of niche research. We are not able to afford make any mistakes because we work on healthcare, we work on aerospace and defense. What happens if there is a mistake? Lives. So, Six Sigma error rate should be maybe less than 1 in 10 million. That much of focus should be there. Okay, can we move forward? So basically, we were talking about gathering the ideas or data from different points. So how do we structure the data? Okay, so we will talk about one thing. So detailed photography, imagery, focus group discussion, cognitive analysis. Okay, tools. Okay, it's a deep topic. I need 4 days to complete this, but I just give a cinema diesel. Competitive analysis. How do we analyze the competition? Technically, a company competition analysis. Maybe management's faculty. Can you tell me a few tools which is used by the competition? Yeah, Porter's 5 force analysis. Okay. That is industry attractiveness. I'm talking about competition. Yeah. Tools used by industry. Website. How do you analyze this competitor is good, this competitor is not good? Yeah? Yeah, that is one parameter, right?
Industrial
I'm talking about the tools, high level tools.
Industrial.
Industry?
Espionage.
Okay. So, I mean, couple of tools are there. You heard about something called buyer utility map. Okay. Have you heard about blue ocean strategy? Yeah, so another buyer utility map that is used by the product management. Okay. Now, Harvey goal analysis, immutability ladder. Okay. So these are the few tools which is used by the product management team. Who is a product manager? So, I mean, my topic of discussion was revolving around the product management, right? And these are the people who are getting highest salary. Product managers. Because startups, we have a lot of unicorns, right? They hire people who have the product management skill set. They hire as a product managers. So, what are product managers? Recently I got it is one of the greatest opportunity I got an invitation from IAFT. You heard about IAFT, Indian Institute of Foreign Trade. They are going for a placement and they are not exposed to the product management. So I done an extensive 3-day session on product management. This kind of placement was that a lot of people actually connect through LinkedIn and they said that okay, they got placed and they got placed with a good salary. Basically, I mean their branch plus their BTech, okay, that all determines. These are the highest paid employees. You know who was Sundar Pichai before he is elevated as CEO? He was a product manager. Okay. So product managers have a great fortune, or product managers have a great opportunity, especially in the current ecosystem. And these are the people who create great products. If you have a great products, you have a great sales also. Okay. Now, what I'm saying is these are the different tools used by the product managers when it comes to the implementing the industry. I mean, I think you should do some kind of research. Maybe if you need some, I will share some reference materials. Can we move forward? So now we are coming to a point, how do we gather data? Right? There are two aspects, right? Analysis and synthesis. What do you mean by analysis? What is the difference between analysis and synthesis?
Transforming raw data.
Analysis is transforming
Raw data into
Finding out insights from the
no. Which one? Synthesis is finding insights. What is analysis? Breaking down problems into small things. Okay, and do a lot of data analysis. Insight is gathering the data. Now, how do we, customer or organization, understand the data? Okay, I will going to share a small video. Okay. Earlier, I used to travel across India. Travel when you landed in Bombay and Delhi. Taxi automatically okay. Even now Hindi they really understand Kerala Tamil Nadu Hindi Hindi cinema so currently we don't have that kind of tension, right? Why?
translator.
One is translator. You have a Uber and Ola, right? So what is the advantage of taking Uber and Ola compared to a traditional taxi driver? Standardized price, no need for a bargain, more safe, it is a verified thing, right? Now most of these traditional auto drivers have to abandon the Uber and Ola in order to get the more right, because people prefer that, right? So I just want to share one story of one guy. Okay? He is not abandoned with Uber and Ola, he is making a lot of money, lakhs of rupees, just by riding an auto. So just see this particular video and share your thoughts and learnings.
ഒരു ചാപ്റ്റർ கஸ்டமர்ஸ் தான் கடவுள் அப்படின்னு ஒரு காரணத்தினால அவங்க ஒரு 10 minutes 20 minutes 30 minutes தான் என்னோட ஆர்டரில் ட்ராவல் பண்ணுவாங்க. ஸோ இந்த ட்ராவல் டைமிங்கில் உங்களுக்கு என்ன மாதிரியான விஷயங்கள் கொடுக்கலாம் வித்தியாசமாக அப்படின்னு தேவை. ஒரு 8 newspaper, 35 magazines, tablet, iPad, laptop, TV, contest, token, இந்த மாதிரி நிறைய விஷயங்கள் பண்ணிக்கிறாங்க. கஸ்டமர்ஸ் எல்லாருக்குமே செயின் ப்ராப்ளம் இருந்துச்சு. ஸோ அதனால் ஸ்வைப்பிங் மிஷின் கொண்டு வரலாம் அப்படின்னு. ஸோ இந்த மணி கூட சின்ன மணி கூட போகுது அப்படின்னு சொல்லி வந்து நான் ரொம்ப ப்ரௌடாக ஃபீல் பண்ணேன். மந்த்லி ஒரு 9,000 rupees என்னோட கஸ்டமர்ஸ்க்காக ஸ்பெண்ட் பண்ணிட்டேன். ஸோ என்னோட இன்கம் இன்க்ரீஸ் ஆகும் அப்படின்றதுக்காக நான் எதாவது பண்ணேன். அவங்கள சாட்டிஸ்ஃபேக்ஷன் பண்ணணும் அப்படின்ற ஒரு காரணத்தினால தான் பண்ணேன். இதன் மூலிமா என்னோட இன்கம் டபுள் ஆகிருக்கு. முன்னாடிலாம் கஸ்டமர்ஸ்க்காக நான் வெயிட் பண்ணிட்டு இருப்பேன். இப்போ கஸ்டமர்ஸ் எனக்காக வெயிட் பண்ணாங்க. டெக்னாலஜி எவ்வளோ தான் வளர்ந்தாலும் ஹியூமன் எலிமெண்ட்டை வந்து யாராலையும் ஜெயிக்க முடியாது. அதனால தான் என்னோட கஸ்டமர்ஸ் கிட்ட நான் ரொம்ப ஃப்ரெண்ட்லியாக இருக்கேன். ஸோ அவங்க எவ்வளோ டென்ஷனோட என் ஆட்டோக்குள்ளே ஏறி வந்தால் கூட இறங்கும்போது ரொம்ப சந்தோஷமாக போகணும் அப்படின்றது தான் என்னோட எதிர்பார்ப்பாக இருக்கும். நான் டென்னில் பேசணும்னு நான் கனவுல கூட நினச்சது கிடையாது. ஹாய், I speak Hindi or English? I speak Hindi, I will try, okay? 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 ठीक है ओके भैया ब्रदर धन्यवाद थैंक यू हिंदी बोलो ओके. ஸோ இதெல்லாம் என்னோட கஸ்டமர்ஸை திருப்திப்படுத்த வைக்கணும் அப்படின்ற ஒரே ஒரு ஃபோக்கஸ் தானே தவிர இதெல்லாம் வந்து நான் எதிர்பார்க்காத ஒரு விஷயம் இல்லை. ஐ லவ் மை ஜாப். கஸ்டமர்ஸ் வந்து கடவுள் தெரியாமல் அவங்க எப்படிலாம் திருப்திகரமாக வச்சுக்கணுன்ற ஒரே ஒரு விஷயத்தை மட்டும் தான் நான் ஃபோக்கஸ் பண்ணேன். இப்போ நான் ரொம்ப சந்தோஷமாக இருக்கேன். இன்னும் நிறைய விஷயங்கள் பண்ணணும்னு ஆசைப்பட்டேன்.
What's your line of this? Human-centric, okay? When you talk about technology, okay, human emotions cannot be eliminated, right? So as a teachers, we are very safe, right? We play with human emotions, right? The human element is very, very critical, right? Other online education, the face-to-face element is very, very critical. Okay, that is one thing. Good. What else?
It's an old video. Before you pay, get popular.
Yeah. It's actually came before the digital money and popular and then Mumbai was someone actually. What else? What is the core of this video?
Adaptability.
Yeah, adaptability to the situations, technology. Good. Fine. Then
exceeding customer expectation.
Oh, good. That is a point. So there is something called core product and augmented product, right? So what is a core product?
The actual reason why that has been done.
Yeah. What is the basic expectation of the customer? Are we able to match that basic expectation of the customer? That is a core product. What is augmented product? Are you able to exceed the expectations of the customer? Or auto ride in the basic expectation? Coming from one place to another place. Now how we augmented the product?
Magazines.
Yeah, he exceed the expectations, okay, by understanding closely the behavior of the customers during each stages of that particular journey. We just call it customer journey map. So these are small things, but when it is compounded, that will create a great value prospection. Okay. So there is a concept called customer journey map, where we try to gather all the ideas and try to understand whether the company is able to deliver them. Okay. Let me explain it. Suppose so today FDP, okay, after FDP, നമ്മൾ എല്ലാവരും ആയിട്ട് പിസ്സ റെസ്റ്റോറന്റ് സങ്കല്പിച്ചാണ്. So what can be the different steps? Decide menu. Yeah. So before deciding the menu, what is? Time. Okay. Now we say evening go to 7 o'clock. So pizza restaurant. Yeah. എങ്ങനെ പോകുന്നതിന് മുമ്പ് എവിടെയാണ് പോകേണ്ടത്? ഓക്കെ, എവിടെയാണ് പോകേണ്ടത് നമ്മൾ എങ്ങനെ ഡിസൈഡ് ചെയ്യും? Yeah. So first of all, we should have an awareness regarding which are the pizza restaurants available in and around SCMs. Okay, that is the first stage. We can call it as awareness. What is the next stage?
Decide on the rating.
Yeah, we need to. Now we have 10. Assume that there are 10 pizza restaurants. Next, what is the next step? Decide on one particular thing. So what is that? Research, right? So how do we do a research? Google reviews, ask your friends. Okay. After research, what happens? You will go there, right? When you go there, what are the next steps?
What to go and book some seats.
Before ambience? അതിനു മുമ്പ് ആരൊക്കെ ഉണ്ട് അത് ഡിസൈഡ് ചെയ്തു. ആദ്യമേ ഡിസൈഡ് ചെയ്തു. നമ്മൾ ഡിസൈഡ് അതായത് റെസ്റ്റോറൻറ്റ് ഡിസൈഡ് ചെയ്തു. നമ്മൾ ഇനി അവിടെ പോകുന്നു. അവിടെ എത്തിയിട്ട് ഫസ്റ്റ് ചെയ്യുന്നത് എന്താണ്? ഇതാ ഫുഡ് ഉണ്ടോ നോക്കണം. അതിനു മുമ്പ് ഓപ്പൺ ആണ്. Whether parking is a very important component. അല്ലേ? ഇപ്പൊ എല്ലാവരും പാർക്കിംഗ്. നമ്മൾ പാർക്കിങ്ങിലോട്ട് വന്നു. What is the next step? Parking slot. Then okay, you need to get inside the restaurant. അവിടെ നമ്മൾ എന്തായിരിക്കും നോക്കുന്നത്? Ambience. Okay. Then what is the next step? Menu. Okay. Then പിന്നെ എന്താണ്? Food ordering. Okay. Then എന്താണ്? കഴിക്കണം. Okay. അതിന്റെ വണ്ടിയാണ് ഇത്രയും കഷ്ടപ്പാട്. Okay. Then what else? Yeah. You need to pay. Okay. Pay കഴിഞ്ഞിട്ട് എന്താണ്? അഭിപ്രായം പറയണം. Okay. You need to give a feedback. അഭിപ്രായം പറഞ്ഞു കഴിഞ്ഞിട്ട് പിന്നെ തിരിച്ചു വരണം. ഫോട്ടോ എടുക്കും. ഓക്കെ, ഫോട്ടോ എടുക്കും. ഓക്കെ, ഗുഡ്. തിരിച്ചിറങ്ങി വരണം. ഓക്കെ. Then there is something called, maybe they will actually prompt you to come back also by giving some kind of offers, right? Okay. ഒരു ഫുഡ് കഴിക്കാൻ പറ്റുന്ന പാട് അല്ലേ? So consciously, unconsciously we go through this process. Aware, research, arrive at the restaurant, order for pizza, wait for the order, eat pizza, leave the restaurant, leave the feedback, and these are the core product. Eating. But do you feel that other factors also do a big influence on the customer experience? Yes. Okay. Now, so the big good companies or the companies which are delivering value, they create something called customer journey, where they try to identify each and minute points where customers is engaged with the customers. So there's a concept of touch points. What do you mean touch points? Touch point എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞാൽ ആ പോയിന്റിനെ എങ്ങനെ ഒരു കമ്പനിയായിട്ട് എൻഗേജ് ചെയ്യുന്നത്. അവയർനെസ്, what are the sources for awareness? What are the touch points for making awareness about a business?
Media.
It is media, website, Facebook, right? Research in what are the different touch points? Okay, customer ratings, Google reviews. Arrive at the restaurant, there are different touch points, right? One is signage, proper parking number, then okay, the behavior of the security. So a lot of times, okay, we will get irritated when the behavior of the security is very bad, right? The entire experience will get lost. Am I right or not? So that also matters. Lulu'lokke konditte കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ എവിടെയാണെന്ന് തിരിച്ചത് ഞാനൊക്കെ ഫോട്ടോ എടുത്ത് വെക്കും initially, because we will feel lost, right? Because അവിടെ സഹായിക്കാനായിട്ട് ഉണ്ടാകുന്നില്ല. Order for the pizza, wait for the order, eating pizza, the menu card, how this menu card looks like, the dressing of the, this all makes a lot of difference in creating that value perception. Okay, ഇതിനു വേണ്ടിയിട്ടുള്ള ഡേറ്റ എവിടെ നിന്ന് കിട്ടുന്നത്? നേരത്തെ ചെയ്ത 3 സ്റ്റെപ്സ്: ഇമ്മേഴ്സ്, engage, and observe. So typically, this is online shopping customer journey. So in our horizontal axis, we talk about motivation, search for website, browse the website, evaluate product, and pay. We will talk about activities, we will talk about feelings, we will talk about experience, and we will talk about expectation. So let us go back to your examples. Who is your customer? Yeah. Can you students. Okay. So students can be internal customers. Who is the external customers? Parents. Yeah. Stakeholders. Then apart from the parents, industries, right? Okay. Now, can you create a customer journey map for your students? Suppose SCMS products. So how do a student understand, aware about the SCMS products? That can be the first step, right? What is the next step? Research. So can you take your notepad? Now, on a horizontal axis, try to identify what are the stages where a student undergo as a customer. It can be aware, it can be research, then he or she may join, right? Okay? You are empowering them through the education. After the education, what is the next step? Are you preparing for the placements? Are they getting the jobs? Okay. So, what are the high level on the horizontal axis? Stages of your students' journey map. Are you with me? Yes. Yeah. There is a lap on the maybe can switch on the lap also. I think that is one of the expectations, right? You need to use a lot of technology. And I have deep expectation. I purposely didn't go through different tools because unless and otherwise, if you don't understand the concepts, okay, tool does not make any difference. Maybe you can switch on the laptop also. You can just write it. Stages of student. So here, when your student joined, these are raw material, right, from a pure business perspective. Am I right or not? What is the finished product? Enlarged. Now, we can classify government institution. One faculty become this. How can you say a student has a finished product? Okay. See, industry is demanding, they are looking for some kind of finished product. Our concept. She was like, Then I said that, okay, this is the concept, I just want to, we do respect the students, but certain industry jargons, okay, communication. So can anybody say what are the different stages?
Joining the college.
Yeah, joining the
passing the relevant examination with the required
examination. Okay.
Yeah.
Examination pass it can be aware about the institution. Then research. Okay. Then can be research. Select. Maybe decision. Okay. Then join. Okay. Joining and then what is mind?
Yeah.
So are you creating a lot of complications? Okay. Lot of formalities. Group discussion. Group discussion. That is okay. When join, you do a lot of formalities. So when in the morning, school, I had to spend the entire day. It's absolutely absurd. I mean, our time is also valuable. Cherry process in our we will spend time also, right? Then online because admission is over, okay? It is just you make payments to different departments, okay? That everything can be done online. So I mean, the experience is a bit lower, okay? I mean, when this comes to join. Once joining, learning phase. Learning phase can be also divided into different aspects, right? Okay, initially, okay, they need to build on foundation, and maybe go to intermediate, towards the end, okay, how you are exposing to the industry, how many industry certification they have. What is the relevance of industry certifications? What is the relevance of industry certification? Unfortunately, our education system is a problem. So recently my son got 95%. When I check with all of the people having 90%. 99 other than 99 medical earlier, okay. When I did my 10th standard, only 50% of the people will pass. 80% distinction is something great. So what happened is academics was a grade, industry actually acceptance level. It does not actually reflect their skill sets. Have you heard about an institute called Scalar Institute of Technology? Scalar. And what is the specialty about Scalar? How many from engineering colleges? Okay. In your college, like a ratio, students versus admission ratio, right? Okay. The Scalar Institute of Technology, the ratio is 600:1. It is almost equivalent to IIT, but they are not recognized. But why students join them? They have a complete disruption of how they are delivering education. They have a tie-up with the VAANI. They offer an online BS program. So it's a 4 years program. Now these classes are taken by the industry experts. All classes are taken by the industry experts, not so-called doctors. Okay. Now, second, all their assessments are conducted by the industry recognized assessments. So, engineering, you heard about hacker rank. Our selection hacker rank, it is very tough to go through it. Our conversion says it is hacker rank clear. Okay. So, their assessment is not pen and paper. All are hacker assessments. And that ranking will be in there. Now third, they will ask the people to take industry certification. For example, AWS Cloud, okay, MS Azure. Is industry certification? It is not very easy to take an industry certification. It is very difficult to get industry certification. Now if you have an industry certification, okay, your profile get highlighted. You heard about something called ATS?
Yes.
Yeah. Because now resumes are ATS on the screen. Now, for us, we will look for industry certification. People who have an industry certification, that will get highlighted and shortlisted. Okay. I mean, so how far you are aligned with industry, how far you are aligned with an industry certification, that makes a lot of difference. Scalar, their fees is around 27 lakhs. Okay. They have only online DS degree. Their placement, they start with around 9 lakhs starting salary. I mean, these are some of the disruptors you should understand. Yeah. Coming back to learning, yeah. Then after learning, employment. So what can be the success metrics? Placements. So what is placements? Then
self-employment.
Yeah.
Self-employment.
Self-employment. Okay.
Income-based loans.
Yeah. ROE. What is ROE? Yeah. I invested so much of this. So how far you can recover from that? Okay. Now here, your students or parents may have some expectations, right? Am I right or not? Okay. So we should identify what are the expectations of the students under each speech. Okay. Now, touch points. What do you mean touch points?
Points of interaction.
where they try to engage with a particular platform. Aware are that maybe a social media platform, right? Okay. The assessment, there can be some platform. Experience. What do you experience? Experience can be two ways, right? What are the either it can be paid or it can be a good experience also. Now, can we consolidate this experience? WhatsApp emoji highly excited, okay, very over, okay. So can you derive an experience, consolidated experience? Then data. Where do we get the data? Data tools in course, we understand the expectation of the customers. Okay, we after going through the experience, we identify whether they are able to match their expectations. Okay, so these are the data we have. Can you just open your laptop? Any questions? So please open our favorite platform, ChatGPT. If you don't have a laptop, you can share. Yeah, you have that. Now just give a prompt, create a customer journey map for the students. Students of if you are from an engineering college, you can talk about engineering college. If you are from an MBA college, you can talk about MBA college. Create a customer journey map for the students of your engineering college. Create a wish. Maybe you can add another prompt also. Create a visual map for the same. Is it generating something? Yes. So what you can see? Yeah. Touch points, experience, okay. Visual map. Do you visual map may create some type. KPMG, when they do consulting, what they first do, okay, they create a customer journey map. Okay. No need to have a KPMG. You yourself can be a consultant. Understand. I mean, if you have a proper data points, you can understand this. True? You got a hang of it? The prompts we will get more and more insights. You can talk about success metrics. What is the emotional conclusion? Okay. I mean, this can be hypothetical because it's not an actual data. Okay. Maybe you can talk about Kerala, you can talk about Cochin. Okay, I can put a specific prompt into them. Data points but it is not, can be an actual, you cannot rely on that. So can we move forward? So once we understand lot of, can you tell me one pain points in this entire journey now? Pain point. The journey map is a pain point from the student's perspective. Yeah? Not getting place. Okay. Students are frustrated, right? Okay. Anything else?
When you fail a subject.
When you fail a subject. Okay.
Promises not delivered by the institution.
Promises not delivered by the institutions. So you feel that the biggest pain point is placements, right?
Getting admission is also takes nowadays.
Yeah?
Getting admission.
Getting admission to the college is a pain point.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean the admission process.
Yeah. No, he has to compete with other students and get admission. In
Okay. Yeah. So compete with other students and getting an admission. Okay. That I also agree with that. So that's another problem. So once they get admitted, placement can be one problem. That is what you think, right? I think general opinion is the placement, right? Now, when it comes to design thinking used for the problem solving, right? So what is the next step? Yeah. So the next step is we need to actually think about an idea. Okay, how to solve this problem. So how we solve the problem? So when it comes to solving the problem, what kind of thinking is required? Divergent or convergent? Divergent. If I say that we need both kind of thinking, do you agree?
Yes.
Why? Why?
In order to understand the problem, divergence.
Yeah, first initially, okay, we need to open our mind, okay, generate as many ideas as possible, but we cannot take all the ideas, right? So we need to shortlist few ideas. Initially, divergence is required, then convergence is required. Okay, so how far you are really good in creativity? So let us do 1 or 2 activities. Okay, this is a very common activity. Activity. Okay. So there are 9 dots. You need to connect all the 9 dots with the 4 single lines without taking your pen or pencil. This activity is an out of the box thinking in a phrase or just try it. നാല് ലൈൻ വരയ്ക്കണം. എല്ലാത്തിനും കണക്ട് ചെയ്യണം. പേന ഒരിക്കൽ വരച്ചു തുടങ്ങി കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ എടുക്കാം. You need a glue? Can be a slanting line also. Do you need a glue? Okay, the line should be should come outside the circle and outside the. You should not take outside the circle, some sort of the box. You should. You should. Take line outside the box. You can, but the line, if you you can have a cross, but only you need to draw 4 lines without taking your pen off. Only 4 lines. Without taking your pen off. Now look at the dotted line. Take the line outside the box. ആർക്കും കിട്ടിയില്ല? Yeah, very good. Son, where is that?
Vilas.
Vilas. So give a big clap to Vilas. So this is how it should work. There, another. line let me give you let me give you another challenge. You need to connect all the 9 dots with 3 lines. 3 lines without taking your pen or pencil. Line means it to be straight, right?
Yeah.
Yes, slanting line is something different. Like you this roundy is very nice. Chat GPT is very good. You want a clue?
Yes.
So the line can be a slanting line. Yeah, line can be slanting line. Dots can be bigger. You did it? Yeah, somewhat right. Another, you see this? Maybe line can be start from some point of here. Okay, assume that these are bigger dots. The line only side touch out. The line only side touch out. The line dot on every side touch out. It will go upside. It can come down and it can go on. Good job. Okay, give it a clap. But I am not satisfied. I am going to give you another challenge. Can you connect all the 9 dots with one single line? Single line.
Out of this.
Yeah.
Category like that.
That is one way. Another way is piece of paper you can fold the paper.
Yes, and then
you can draw.
Yes.
Now, being said that we need to be very creative. Okay, we need to create new solutions. It's very difficult for us to be creative, right? Am I right or not? Okay. So technically, in industry, creativity a lot of tools. Okay. So the mind mapping, I think this is very popular among the faculty, right? 6 thinking hats. Have you heard about something called 6 thinking hats?
Yes.
Okay, so that's another powerful tool. Scamper. Okay. This is a very powerful tool specifically used for product development. Scamper is specifically used for the product development. Scamper substitute, combine, attach, okay, modify, put to other use, eliminate, okay, is reverse. Analogies, body brainstorming, brain writing, and storyboarding. So these are the different techniques we use. Okay. Can I move forward?
Yeah.
So we will try to capture all ideas in something called ideation canvas. Okay. Now we have a problem. We have a lot of ideas. Assume that number what ideas is. What is the next step? Shortlisting the idea, right? How do you shortlist idea? Are you with me? Yeah. How do you shortlist an idea? നമ്മുടെ അസംഷൻ എന്താണ് ഈ ടൂളൊക്കെ ഉപയോഗിച്ച് നമുക്ക് ഇഷ്ടമായ ഐഡിയ കിട്ടി ഐഡിയ കൊണ്ട് ഇങ്ങനെ ചറപറായിരിക്കുകയാണ് ഓക്കെ we need to shortlist idea, right? How do we shortlist? What can be the parameter for shortlisting? Feasibility. So what is feasibility?
Whether it can be implemented.
Financially feasible.
Yeah, feasibility has a lot of connotation. Okay. So couple of things. One is we call it as actionable ideation. Where we try to identify what is the impact of idea on the user on a vertical axis. Second is time required for implementing an idea. For example, you want to improve the placements. Is it possible immediately? Because bit of time, right? So, in the basically we can have 4 corners. The idea which have high impact, time required for the implementation is less. We can call it as a killer ideas. These ideas we need to take it up. Ideas which have low impact, time required for the implementation is very high. These are the ideas which we need to eliminate. Are you with me? Okay. Now this is not a foolproof technique because it does not cover a very important aspect called finance, right? Finance is also very important. So where around urgency versus business value. Okay, what is the urgency? This idea or user urgent. Business value. How much business value this can generate? Okay, let us take COVID time. Okay, what is the urgency of invention of a vaccines out of 1 to 10? 10 being highest. 10. What is the business value if a pharmaceutical company come out with a vaccination? Business value out of 1 to 10. 10. Right? So, are you able to measure? We need to take it to the next level. Lot of startups fail because they fail to understand these metrics. Mostly startups have these emotions. They don't think. Okay, can you move forward? Yes. So what is the next step? Once you shortlisted few ideas, what is the next step? Yeah, so next is prototype. So prototype is for objects as well as for services. What is the difference between product and services? Very simple. Yeah, one is tangible and intangible. Okay. Services in a very important part is there's experience and process. Basically, I can say your education is mostly into services sector, right? Okay. So in order to have a greater experience for the student, there should be a lot of back-end process. So let me give an analogy. How many of you seen Bahubali 2 movie? It is a 3-hour movie. You had a great, the visual impact, right? A movie created in yeah, I think around 2.5 years. Okay? There are a lot of background work, right? Script writing and all. 3 hours experience they had to put a lot of back-end effort, right? Now, if the students want to have an experience maybe for 1 year, you need to have a lot of back-end process. That can be the faculty, that can be the infrastructure, that can be the industry experts, that can be the certifications, right? Are you with me? Yes. If you want to stop, okay, please stop. Okay. And there is something called a service blueprint. Okay, service blueprint. This is very critical for the services industry. Now, a restaurant, we can see few people, we cannot see few staffs. We cannot see few staffs, and we can see few staffs. Who are the staffs we cannot see in a restaurant? Chef, right? Then housekeeping. Whether these two people make a very important part in the customer experience. Yes. Okay. Who are the people you can see? Maybe the waiter, okay, right. Okay. So typically, we have a line of visibility. What actions line of visibility in the back end. So these people also make a lot of importance. So when you create a strategy, we will try to create a strategy. So there is something called, when you try to create a prototype, there is something called fidelity of prototypes. Technical, are you able to follow me? Yeah. This is a software perspective because I am from an IT industry. What is the fidelity? China products are famous, right? Adidas is Adidas. Original, right? Okay. So China actually started their journey like hoping with other products, but they are different. So fidelity is original product in a copy. That is a fidelity. Okay. So So typically, this is fidelity, low fidelity to high fidelity. This is the cost. Okay. Normally we start with something called sketching. What is the sketching? Panda script writers are right? We can start with the sketching. Second is wireframe. Have you heard about wireframe? What is a wireframe? So wireframe is basically another information outline of structure like a flow chart, conveys direction and everything. For example, with a web page create, you will create a wireframe. For example, parasemic tools. Very simple example. Pand nammal veedu construct cheyanengil we go to the architect, right? So nammada parasemic idea tharum budget parayum. So what does architect will give? A blueprint, right? But it is very difficult for a common man to understand. Like another pala measurements, okay, it is very difficult for visualize. So that is actually a wireframe. Simple ആയിട്ട് വേണം. അതിന്റെ ഒരു ടെക്നിക്കൽ ഫോർമാറ്റ് ആണ് പറയുന്നത്. നമ്മൾ ഇപ്പോൾ ആർക്കിടെക്റ്റിന്റെ പോവുകയാണെങ്കിൽ എന്താ ചെയ്യുന്നത്?
3D.
Excellent. They will give you a 3D image, right? നമുക്ക് വീടിനകത്ത് കയറാം, വീടിന്റെ കളർ മാറ്റാം, പെയിന്റ് മാറ്റുന്നു, ഇത് മാറ്റുന്നു, അല്ലേ? സ്റ്റെപ്പ് കയറുന്നു, okay. We can visualize, we can experience it. So that is the next step we call it as, okay, visual mock-ups. Okay, we create a visual mock-ups. So panda oru software product create cheyanengil we need to have a programming language. You heard about something called front end language, back end language okke namukku arakirukka. Ipo adinte oru avashyamilla. You write some code and try to create a explain the visual mock-ups. Take your laptop. Are you with me? Any doubts? Doubt or not? Google Chrome Galileo AI/Stitch. Galileo AI/Stitch. Login ചെയ്യാൻ വേണ്ടി പറയാം. Stitch ടൈറ്റിൽ സ്റ്റിച്ച് കിട്ടിയോ? Galileo AI അത് സ്റ്റിച്ച് ഗൂഗിളിലേക്ക് പോകുക. Galileo AI കാണുന്നുണ്ടല്ലോ ടോപ്പില്, അത് ക്ലിക്ക് ചെയ്യാം. Now I think it is being acquired by Google. Stitch with Google കിട്ടുന്നുണ്ടോ? Yeah. നമ്മൾ ചിലപ്പോൾ ഒന്ന് അതിനകത്ത് സബ്സ്ക്രൈബ് ചെയ്യേണ്ടി വരും. Describe your design എന്നുള്ളൊരു ഇത് വന്നോ? Okay. Are you with me?
No.
Sorry, ഞാൻ ഒരു ഡിസൈൻ വിത്ത് AI എന്നുള്ള ഒരു ഇത് വന്നോ? അവിടെ ഒരു പ്രോംപ്റ്റ് കൊടുക്കാനുള്ള ഒരു കോളം. ഓക്കെ, ബീറ്റ വെർഷൻ. Now ഒരു പ്രോംപ്റ്റ് കൊടുക്കുക. Create a UI for UI user interface. Okay, UI for an admission portal where students can pay the fees, then students can select the specific hostel facility. എൻ്റെ ഒരു അസംഷൻ ഞാൻ പറയുന്നുണ്ടല്ലോ. ഓക്കെ, അത്ര മതി. Maybe you can add more features, okay? Because you know the problems of your users, right? Hello, okay, generating number. Why is it generating number? പറഞ്ഞുകൊണ്ടല്ലേ ജെൻഐ ടൂൾസിനൊരു പ്രശ്നം ഇതാണ്. ഇവിടെ you got to get right. Yeah.
Dashboard.
Or a dashboard over there. So this is a UI. Okay, now earlier, are you with me? I think most of you got a UI, right? Earlier in the creative, okay, we need to do a lot of code in front end. Now this is now the next stage. Okay, it is അത് നമ്മൾ എഴുതുന്ന കോമയും കുത്തും സ്പെല്ലിംഗ് മിസ്റ്റേക്സ് have you seen there is a model? Okay, can I mention please? Have you seen something called Figma?
Yes.
So Figma is actually a ശരിക്കും നമ്മളൊരു UI create ചെയ്യാൻ വേണ്ടിയിട്ടുള്ളതാണ്. അപ്പോൾ അതിന്റെ back end when you click you will get the code also when you try to alpha to beta production. Right? Okay. So what happened is because of this Gen 9 now the product development become very very faster. Are you getting me? Yes. Okay. Now once you have a prototype, so prototype is like an actual coding this is all mock-ups. What do you mean mock-ups? This is not an original one. So coding we use first mock-ups, then we will go to the prototypes. Okay. What is the difference between a prototype and an MVP? Prototype and MVP. You can MVP. Minimum viable product. What is the difference? Prototype is also base product.
In minimum viable product, you are actually developing it.
Okay.
You are actually going to use it. Minimum viable product. Prototype you
can also use, right?
The prototype is only for showcase.
Yeah. Prototype is actually for testing for internal stakeholders. MVP is testing for an external stakeholders. Because prototype properly tested, the management approve the matrame MVP leke kodu because you are risking your branch to the external stakeholders. Are you with me? Yeah. So once you have a prototype and MVP, what is the next stage? Yeah, you need to test it, right? So testing, there are a lot of experimentation with A/B testing, multivariate testing, then funnel testing. I'm not going to do that. Simple A/B testing. You see two UIs, right? This is the original UI and this is the new UI. Even the image enhancing. Now you divert the sample to these two UIs and try to get the feedback. Which UI have a better feedback? Okay, that's the A/B testing. There is something called multivariate testing and funnel testing. Okay. Now, how do you measure the success of a product? You know, everything should have a metrics, right? How do you measure the success of your students?
Scores.
Yeah, one is placements, the CGPA, the return on investment, right? These can be different metrics, right? So, how do you measure the success of a product? You test in the market. How do you measure? The plus metrics which you are measuring. Yeah, one can be sales, ROE. So, what metrics are there? Engagement metrics, acquisition metrics. What do you mean engagement metrics? How much time? Okay. For example, time spent on the product. How many of you have WhatsApp? How much time you spend on WhatsApp? You spend a lot of time. It is very difficult to measure also, right? Why we are spending so much time on WhatsApp? because you get some kind of value. How much time spent you spend on LinkedIn? Yeah. So what I'm saying is time spent on the product. If the product is actually delivering a lot of value to the customers will spend a lot of time. Last example, 2 minutes. Yeah. Are you okay with 2 minutes? Yeah. നിങ്ങൾ എപ്പോഴും ചിന്തിച്ചിട്ടുണ്ടോ the platforms like Instagram, LinkedIn, right? പെട്ടെന്ന് അത് കോപ്പി ചെയ്യാൻ പറ്റില്ലേ? ആർക്കും കോപ്പി? It's a very platform, right? So why no competitor comes into that particular space?
User please.
Anybody can. It's not a big thing also. Anybody can.
So user.
Yes, that would be possible.
It's all connected to.
അതൊക്കെ anybody can create, right? It's not a big issue.
Engagements are
Competitor engagements create. It is very easy. But why Insta or why Facebook or why LinkedIn does not have a competitor? അതൊക്കെ ഒരു കമ്പനിക്ക് ചെയ്തൂടെ? ഇൻഫോസിസിനോ TCSനോ ഒക്കെ ഡേറ്റാ സെക്യൂരിറ്റി വെച്ച് ചെയ്തു. കസ്റ്റമർ ലോയൽറ്റി can easily switch. ഇപ്പോൾ ഇല്ലാത്തൊരു സാധനമാണ് ലോയൽറ്റി, റൈറ്റ്? അവിടെ 5 രൂപ വില കുറയ്ക്കണമെങ്കിൽ ഉടനെ അങ്ങോട്ടേക്ക് ചാടും, റൈറ്റ്? It is not about loyalty. Couple of facts. One is there is a concept called storing value. What do you mean storing value? അതായത് നമ്മൾ ഇത് കഴിഞ്ഞ 10 വർഷമായിട്ട് ഉപയോഗിക്കുകയാണ് അല്ലേ? We put lot of our emotions. We post our pictures. ഇടയ്ക്കിടയ്ക്ക് ഈ പിക്ചേഴ്സ് എന്ത് ചെയ്യും? പാസ്റ്റ് 1 year, ഓക്കെ? ഇപ്പൊ എനിക്കറിയാം മറ്റേ കുട്ടികളുടെ പഴയ കുഞ്ഞ് ബേബീസ് ആയിരിക്കും. വാവ്, ഓക്കെ? It is very difficult to go out of that. That is one thing. Second, there is something called you call it as a skill. Okay, നമ്മൾ ഏതൊരു product ആണെങ്കിലും there is something called cognitive ability. അതായത് പുതിയൊരു product ഉപയോഗിക്കണമെങ്കിൽ we need to put some effort, right? Once you use one product again and again, you will master it. Okay, അപ്പോൾ നമ്മളിപ്പോൾ Facebook, Instagram, എൻ്റെ മക്കൾക്ക് Instagram ഒക്കെ ഇങ്ങനെ keywords. I got surprised because I am not much into Instagram. I am much into LinkedIn, but I am very comfortable in LinkedIn. ഞാനൊരു പുതിയൊരു പ്ലാറ്റ്ഫോമിലേക്ക് പോവുകയാണെങ്കിൽ I am actually risking my story value, I am risking my network, I am risking my new skill set. Right or not? So you need to read ഒരു book on The Hook. ഒരു book ഉണ്ട്. Okay? It's an amazing book. Okay, you should read that book. This book is written by a person called Neil Young. Okay? It's a must read for the people who are in the product. So there are a lot of metrics. ഞാൻ ഇങ്ങനെ ജസ്റ്റ് അത് പറയുന്നേ ഉള്ളൂ. ലാസ്റ്റ് എക്സാമ്പിൾ കസ്റ്റമർ ലൈഫ് ടൈം വാല്യൂ. heard about customer lifetime value? ഞാനൊരു എക്സാമ്പിൾ പറയാം. Have you heard about a product called Cred? Yeah, Cred is actually ഒരു ക്രെഡിറ്റ് കാർഡ് പേയ്മെന്റിന് വേണ്ടി വന്നിരിക്കുന്നു. Initially, in order to acquire 1 rupee revenue, they used to spend around 600 to 700 rupee as expense. What is the logic? 1 രൂപ വരുമാനം കിട്ടാൻ വേണ്ടിയിട്ട് 600 രൂപ 700 രൂപ. What is the logic? Yeah, customer base അവിടെ ആഡ് ചെയ്തിട്ട് കാര്യമില്ലല്ലോ. What can be the logic?
Customer will be sticking on with that particular.
Yeah.
Customer will be sticking on with credit.
Yeah, customer will sticking on to that particular product. Not only sticking, the company will be able to derive value from that particular product. Or customer will pay for it, right? Yes. And you will stick to that particular product. Google Pay on എങ്ങനെയാണ് നമ്മൾ മാർക്കറ്റ് അട്രാക്ട് ചെയ്യുന്നത്? റിവാർഡ്സ് അല്ലേ? നമ്മൾ അങ്ങോട്ട് അയക്കുമ്പോൾ നമുക്ക് 50 രൂപ ഇട്ട് അപ്പുറത്ത് അയക്കും. ഓക്കെ, we got a lot of money, right? Now we got a lot of reward points എന്താണ് കുറച്ച് vouchers. അത് കേൾക്കാത്ത കമ്പനീസിന്റെ vouchers ആണ്. So there is a concept called customer lifetime value. Okay, how much money you are able to generate over a period of years. Okay, now Cred have a lot of customers, they are able to generate a lot of money. Google Pay have a lot of customers. Now there is no need to give any kind of offers. I think with that I will just stop it at. Okay, so there are a lot of things to be shared. I don't want to stand between your lunch and the session. Okay, so in short, I think I just give a small glance how a product development happens in an organization. Okay, sorry, I just Gen 9 tools, because the concept is more clear, need to be more understandable before applying tools. Tools anyone can, concept clear and tool is easy. So with that, I will just pause for a second. Any questions?
Yes, students in the class, so no questions.
Yeah?
The active students in the class, so no questions.
No questions. No question means there are two assumptions. Either you are convinced or you are fully convinced. I don't know where I landed. Okay. But any questions?
So, what is the opportunity there in the industry? The industry is now accepting the research background, PhD students, or what is the relevance of?
Okay, yeah, research, right? I understand in the background. We are research. Academic research and industry research are very different. Okay? So, I also did my PhD, right? Okay, you talk about research methodology. Okay, when it comes to the doctoral committee meeting, they are not looking about output. Research methodology they focus on. Because I also take in support lot. Okay, because academic research outcome in the sense industry outcome is not very important. Okay. Basically a PhD. Our industry research we need to have an outcome. But the tools will be completely different. You may use SPSS. We don't use SPSS. We use a Python, we use an R, we use a Power BI, we use a Tableau. Okay. We use AI. Okay. I mean, there's a lot of difference what academics use as a research and what we use as a research. Now, if you are able to align with what industry expects, there's a huge opportunity. Huge opportunity. People PhD because we have seen that they have an understanding of the industry problems.
So that PhD in social science or pure science?
Electronics.
So you have already worked and then after that,
right
freshers are
she was doing a PhD in QSAT.
industry working
the fair idea. Test she having a fair idea. So we conducted one hackathon. Okay, employees conducted. Triple IT just accommodated because we have an MO. To our surprise, these people got the first place. So there are few brilliant minds. They understand what is happening in the industry. Obviously, industry have a lot of stuff. I know there is a company who is looking only for PhD. Okay, they are really struggling for getting a PhD. When I have PhD profiles, reject. They ask, okay, what is the metrics? What is the success metrics? What is UI? Okay, what is the tools? Still, they are struggling. So that is the challenge. So any other questions? So thank you very much. Please connect me through LinkedIn. Okay, I'm very active in LinkedIn. We do a lot of forums where we can engage and discuss. And the LinkedIn you can put as Dr. Pradeep as okay. Nest Digital. Thank you, sir. നമ്മുടെ സെഷനിൽ ഒത്തിരി ഇൻസൈറ്റ്ഫുൾ ആയിട്ടുള്ള കാര്യങ്ങൾ അതുപോലെ തന്നെ ഇൻഡസ്ട്രി റിസർച്ച് പ്രോഡക്റ്റ് റിസർച്ച് തുടങ്ങിയ കാര്യങ്ങളിൽ നമുക്ക്
വളരെയധികം ഇൻസൈറ്റ്ഫുൾ ആയിട്ടുള്ള ഒത്തിരി കാര്യങ്ങളൊക്കെ and also how it differs from actual academic research and other different realization we are in session. So I thank Dr. Pradeep, Vice President of AICTE, for being with us and having this video session. Thank you.
Thank you.
So my Mr. Friend, thank you for your So once again, next session for them.
Which is a next